23-year-old Michael Wacha, who became the first Cardinal pitcher 23 years of age or under to win his first 4 games of the season. Carpenter had the RBI in extra innings yesterday to win it. And we take a look at the Pirates lineup. It is brought to us by Toyota. Gregory Polanco leads off, then Josh Harrison playing second base. Andrew McCutchen, Starling Marte over the last 4 games hitting .353 with a homer and 4 runs batted in. Pedro, Jordan, and Jung Ho will play third base today. Chris Stewart behind the plate, and Vance Worley doing the pitching and batting 9, getting set to face Michael Wacha. Throws a lot of fastballs.
Yeah, we talked about Wacha quite a bit during the open, and he really is one of the finer pitchers in the league. And one of the things that you go in and you're going up against a guy like this, you have to expect, okay, he's going to be on his game. He's going to pitch a good ball game. But that doesn't mean you're going to lose the game. It just means you have to play perfect baseball. You have to get runners over, take advantage of guys at third and 1 out. All the little things that you need to do to win, Pirates have to do those this afternoon.
Defensively for the Cardinals, presented by Honda in the outfield left to right, Holiday, Jay, and Hayward. Carpenter, Peralta, along with Cosma and Adams on the infield. Yadier Molina doing the catching for Michael Wacha. Clint Hurdle knows that sometimes these games can go the way they've gone in terms of teams with the last at bat. Talked to Clint today about something Mike Matheny knows a lot about, and that is having home field advantage and how it is different in baseball than in any other sport. Home court or home ice is just different because you have the last chance to win the game.
Yeah, baseball is the only sport where it's built into the rules that the home team has an advantage, especially when you get to the latter part of the ball game.
Last 2 seasons, the home team in this series, coming into this series, 14-5 against one another. So the Pirates have had their success against the Cardinals at PNC Park. And here's Gregory Polanco, first batter of the ball game. He will take a strike, and we're underway. Calling the balls and strikes, Mark Wegner. Artie Foster is at first. Mike Maczwinski is the second base umpire. Crew chief Mike Winters been back at third. Now ball to second. Cosmo throws out Gregory, and there's 1 gone. Polanco gets the first out. Josh Harrison batting in the 2 spot. Talked to Rock about this last couple of days, Bob, but do you like this new alignment with Polanco leading off and Harrison second?
Well, you do have your base stealer leading off first. There are advantages to having a left-handed hitter batting second, though. And if you do get a leadoff double or something, then all he has to do is pull the ball to move the runner to third base. If there's a runner at first, there's always a hole to hit through on that side for the left-hander. So there are advantages and disadvantages in this scenario that you have with these 2 guys.
The hit and run could work out well. Jay foul tips it into the glove of Molina for strike 2.
I really don't think you have to hit and run much with Polanco because he's such a successful base stealer. Let him steal second, then hit the ball to the right side and move him to third.
1-2 pitch. Jay to the left side. Carpenter plays the hop. 2 down. And Matt Carpenter did it again yesterday. It was either one man or another. It's been Adams. Yesterday, Carpenter. Pirates found a way to get him out, and it still won the game for the Cardinals. He had a fly ball to left, bottom of the 11th inning. Scored the game-winning run with a sacrifice. Some things are really going your way. You make an out, and you still win. Last batter of the game. McCutchen will take a strike. Well, it is a long season, and it could be a totally different story next weekend when the Cardinals come to Pittsburgh.
Normally, you don't see a walk-off sacrifice fly to the warning track.
0-2 pitch. McCutchen goes to right field. That'll be down for a hit. Kutch now has hit 5 straight. 2-out single for Andrew.
Yeah, a hard hit base hit off a pitch that's away. That's something that's been missing. That right there, a fastball away, hitting it hard for a base hit.
I wonder if you thought for a moment there, Bob, that Hayward might have a chance to catch it. He sort of stutter stepped on his way down the baseline.
I think what he thought was that there was a chance he wasn't going to catch it. That's why he started for a moment running hard. He thought that might get by him. At first, I think he just thought it was going to be a single, and then when he saw it hit, because it kind of took a little bit of a skip, Hayward had to lunge for it. I think that's when you saw him kick it in gear for a step there.
Marte, ground ball to the left side of the infield. Carpenter throws him out. So 3 ground balls and a base hit at the top of the first. No score. Cardinals coming to bat. For the first inning. The lineup presented by Honda. John Jay will lead off. Matt Carpenter second. Matt Holliday third. Matt Adams back to cleanup. Johnny Peralta the shortstop fifth. And Jason Hayward back in the lineup today. .322 average in his career against Pittsburgh. Majority of that coming with the Atlanta Braves. Molina, Cosma, and Waka round out the Cardinal order, facing right-hander Vance Worley.
See Vance's numbers on the year, and we talked earlier about Vance and what his goal is today. It's to stay away from that big inning that got him the last time in his last start in Chicago. One inning where he gave up 3 runs and threw, I think it was 36 pitches in that one inning.
Yeah.
Going up against a guy like Waka, a 3-run inning, that could be what does you in. So bend but don't break today.
John Jay fouls it off. 1 ball and 1 strike. John Jay played right field in yesterday's game. Center field Friday night. Back at center field today. 1-1 from Vance. Jose Oquendo.
Oh, he missed it.
And, he gave it the old okey doke. Secret weapon. Not so secret.
You're laughing. No reason to try and catch those.
I got it. I don't have it.
He thought about it. No, I'm just going to let that one go. Pretty darn good player.
Two and 2. In the air to left center. On the run, McCutchen. And Andrew tracks it down. A long out for John Jay.
That carried pretty well. We might see a couple long balls this afternoon. That one jumped.
How about our Rivers Casino tips
Stay
to win?
loose. We've talked about it, the close games that the Pirates have lost here. And I'm starting to wonder, are they tightening up when they play the Cardinals here in St. Louis? You know, that has to be something to think about. And Vance don't change. That's all about don't worry about trying to be absolutely perfect and throw a shutout today just because we haven't scored any runs here in this ballpark. 2 so far. You still have to pitch your game. Now he is a guy that is always very aggressive, pitches to contact. If he tries to throw up zeros the whole time and starts thinking about missing bats, then that's when he might have that big inning that we were talking about he needs to avoid. Just be yourself, pitch to contact, get out of the game 6-7 innings. If you give up 1 or 2 runs, that's pretty good effort. I think that should be the goal today.
Willie gets ahead of Carpenter 1-2.
But sometimes when your team's not scoring runs, you get caught up thinking, okay, I got to be perfect. I can't give up a run, and you try to stop from giving up, say, 1 early run by starting to pitch around somebody with a runner at second, and now you got a couple of guys on, and then somebody boots one, and now you got a ground ball right over a bag, and before you know it, you look at the scoreboard. Because you tried to stop one run, you gave up 3.
2-2 now. And did he go? Yes, he did. Punched out by Mike Winters, the umpire third on the field.
Fastball looked like it had some pretty darn good cut action to it. Kind of jumped in right there at the last moment.
2 outs for Matt Holliday. 342 average. 1 home run and 14 runs batted in for Holliday. Just to go to the right side. He certainly can pull it. He has a lot of power. First pitch strike for Worley. And 0-1. Just inside. Now, one thing about Vance's last start, Bob, is that he didn't have as many first pitch strikes as he would have liked to. Today has a chance to correct that. Two balls and a strike. Holliday waits for the 2-1 from Worley. And first base umpire Mark Foxter said he didn't go. Ball got away from Vance.
The ball got away from Stewart.
Stewart rather.
Yeah, he tried to. He was going to throw it and then decided not to and tried to hold on to it and it just came out of his hand. Stewart hit right straight into the grass in front of him. I think he thought Vance wasn't looking. Didn't want to hit him with the throw.
3-1 right back to Worley. And the Vanimal with a good play. And the side retired in order in the first. On to the second inning at Busch Stadium. Vance Worley. Good pitch and a little self-defense doesn't hurt either.
Have a hot one today. And one of the most unique characters in all baseball has a unique look today. I'm talking about the Pirates' third base coach. His name, of course, is Rick Sofield. And with the hot day today, he's rocking the old school look. He's got the pants pulled all the way up above his calves. And I went up to him before the game. I said, Rick, why are you going with the high socks look? He said, hey, baby, I'm just riding high. I just want to get my calves to feel a little bit of breeze. We got a hot one today. And only Rick Sofield can say it. But, yeah, unique look for a unique guy, right?
Unique is right. That's one way to describe him.
St. Louis, always the warmest place that I ever went to play. This ballpark here may be a little bit cooler than the old one, but not by much. You come in here in July, you know you're going to bake. And even in early May, a very warm day.
Well, when they had the AstroTurf, it must have been even warmer.
Like an oven. They have the big trays of crushed ice for the players to come stand in after they come off the field every inning. Cool the feet off.
2-1 and Pedro skies this one foul on the third base side. 2-2.
Places like Houston incredibly hot too, but they were always indoors, so it's not that big a deal. But here in St. Louis, it's never muggy here either.
Never? Only a lot. 2-2, and Alvarez fouls this one off. Now, Pedro's only hit came in the postseason. Division series against Wonka. Actually broke up a no-hitter with this on the 7th of October, 2013. Left the yard. And then some. It was game 4. Wonka pitched opposite Charlie Morton. Both pitched wonderfully that day. And it was a key game in that series. Cardinals ended up winning that game. Then we had to come back here for game 5, and Adam Wainwright got the job done against Garrett Cole. And the Cardinals moved on, and Pedro lines it right to Cosmo.
Well, there's an instance where playing that second baseman very deep paid off. He's now way out on the grass. Obviously, this is a nice, clean single to right. See the location before the pitch, right at it.
Strike one delivered to Jordy Mercer. He's moving up in the order today. Dunn hitting behind him, also Chris Stewart. Shot out of play right side. Quickly 0-2 to Mercer. Pitch inside. Walker was not drafted out of high school. Ended up going to Texas A&M. Fouled off again, but you think, again, I don't know how tall he was out of high school. A guy with his size and his build, that's the kind of guy the Cardinals like to have. They try to model him now all after Adam Wainwright, and some say that Walker's a carbon copy of him. Slowly to the right side. Walker has to cover. Adams gets him the baseball. 2 out for the Pirates in the second.
Now Walker does throw a lot like Wainwright does. I mean, he's not quite as tall as Wainwright, though, is he?
They're close.
What's Wainwright, 6'6"?
Let's see, Walker is 6'6".
Oh, yes. Oh, okay.
And Wainwright's 6'7".
Very close. Should have checked it, but
we checked it real close.
Yeah.
Just an inch difference, but they do look the same. They have a similar approach, and they both have success at home.
Is close.
Walker will face Jung-Ho Gun for the first time. Delivers a strike. Jung-Ho's last start was in Chicago. Had a very good game. Went 3 for 5. Narrowly missed a home run at Wrigley Field. Turned into an extra base hit. Scored a couple of runs. 1-1 pitch. That's upstairs. 2 balls and a strike.
Much better conditions for trying to get the ball over the fence for that home run than at Wrigley.
To the right side. Adams there again tossing to Walker, and the Pirates done in order in the top half of the second inning. Matt Adams will lead off the bottom of the second inning for the Cardinals. He looks at strike one over the outer half. Adams had the game-winning hit Friday night in the 10th inning. He's had 2 walk-off hits in his career, both against the Pirates. Last season it was a walk-off home run on the 7th of July. And being from central Pennsylvania, Phillipsburg, he said when he went home, said some of his close friends wouldn't talk to him. They're Pirates fans. They knew they were joking, but they gave him a hard time about it. Said, we're glad that you have success, but just don't have it against the Pirates. Now attended Slippery Rock. 2-2 is fouled back. Rattling the glove and the 2-2 pitch. Adams does hit the ball to the opposite field, but the Pirates have defended him in the shift in the past, and he's hit into it a number of times. This time he pops it up. Jung-Ho Gun looking for it, and he lost it in the sun. So a cheapie for Matt Adams.
Well, one of the problems, as you can see here, is the location of the sunglasses. They're covering up the P instead of his eyes.
Oh, man on, nobody out. Johnny Peralta, the batter. Doesn't want to use the sunglasses. It's still hard to block the sun with your bare hand anyway. Peralta, a shot knocked down by Mercer, and they will get the force play at second. Good play by Jordan to get a glove on that rocket hit out there.
And he was able to scramble to it and get that force out. Bounced right up out of that little slide he had on his knees when he tried to stop the ball. One of the things, you're a middle infielder, you have to show that quickness. You can't be slow doing anything. There's just no time out there for that.
Jason Hayward, the batter, with one out. And he hits it right to Harrison. There's one, and that is an inning-ending double play. No score after 2 fall at Busch Stadium. Jason Hayward right here, heading into our Chick-fil-A double play.
You love to see the guys go out and try to pull that pitch away, especially when you're looking for a Chick-fil-A double play.
Nice and easy. Jay Hay starting it. I asked Josh earlier today, I said, did you take any ground balls at second? He said no. I said, in spring training, did I miss it? Did you not play second base at all? He said, no, just only third. I said, well, with the shift, you've basically been playing a lot of second base in the middle. So he's turned double plays. He's made plays on the other side of second base. On his first start at second today, he's involved in an early double play. Chris Stewart leads things off in the third. Stewart hitting .263. Say one name to Michael Walker, you might cringe. It's the name of a guy who was a Pirate briefly last year. Travis Ishikawa. It was Travis Ishikawa who hit the pennant-clinching home run for the Giants last year against the Cardinals. And Michael Walker was the guy who delivered the pitch. Came in relief to do it. Travis Ishikawa had his Bobby Thompson moment. The Giants won the pennant.
Well, that's the thing about baseball. You just don't know day to day, inning to inning, who's going to hit who, what might happen. So many times it's the unexpected.
Stewart fouls this one.
Last inning, for instance, when Hayward got up there, I thought, well, this is not, like this situation. He really hits Vance very well. We just made a miscue out there on defense. And usually those kind of things hurt you. And so what happens? The opposite. He gets into a double play right away.
Popped up, middle of the infield, Cosmo. One out for the Pirates in the third. Our Barrel Automotive leaders stat, Major League leaders. ERA, the Cardinals #1, Pirates right behind them. Mets, Dodgers, and Nationals next on the list. But the 1-2 teams have been battling it out here in St. Louis this weekend.
Those ERAs keep going down.
Looked at a number earlier today, Bob, about A.J. Burnett and Francisco Liriano. Their combined ERAs in this series, 0.64. Swirly fouls it back. Look what they did overall. Liriano dropped his ERA yesterday from 2.22 down to 1.95, and AJ from 1.80 on Friday night to 1.45. Worley lifts this one down to the right field line. Hayward running after it. He'll make the catch in fair ground. And let's go downstairs and check in with Robbie and Smokowski.
Well, you guys are talking about these starters and how good they've been lately, and I've actually grabbed one of them, and he's going to be our guest for Twitter Tuesday coming up in a couple days, and that is AJ Burnett. Fire away. Ask your questions. Use the hashtag Bucks Tuesday when you ask them. Let's try to go off the beaten path a little bit, maybe a little less baseball, a little more personal type stuff. Get in AJ's head and get to know him a little bit more in his last season. Bucks Tuesday is the hashtag, and AJ Burnett taking your questions, Tim, and everybody else.
Well, that'll be Tuesday night at home against the Reds. Look forward to that. Gregory Polanco is 0 for 1.
That should be a good one. There'll be a lot of questions for AJ. Big servers at Twitter. I don't know if they can hold them all.
Polanco to left center field and deep. On the run is Jay, and he won't get it. It's going to the wall, and Polanco is in with a 2-out double. 8th double of the season for Gregory Polanco.
A couple of balls now have been hit out there to left center that just seem to really carry well. A little bit of a breeze kind of blowing out that way. A nice warm afternoon. This is exactly the hitting conditions weather-wise that maybe our bats will really wake up to them. I'd like to see us hit a couple of home runs. We only got one home run on this road trip. And that, of all places, was in frigid Chicago with the wind blowing in. Kind of a line drive that Marte hit.
I thought there were going to be some in Arizona, especially with the roof open for 3 days.
It's normally a great place, a great ballpark for home runs. I was shocked that nobody hit any. They didn't hit any, and neither did us.
No wind to speak of today. Good thing. I'm sure it'll be in the mid to upper 80s today. No wind, it's still, blue skies. Just a beautiful, warm day in St. Louis. And a 1-1. And Harrison to right center. This one's hit pretty well, but Hayward's calling for it. And in front of the warning track, he'll make the grab. And the Pirates will strand their second man today. Tuesday at 6 p.m. on Root Sports. Yadier Molina fouls the first pitch off. Josh, former Steeler punches. I'm on the radio mornings. And we go 1 to Molina. This one is looped into right field. Here comes Polanco to make the catch. If Molina looks a little different to you this year, it's because he dropped 31 pounds from the end of last season. Good running catch by Polanco. 1 down for the Cardinals in the 3rd.
And Polanco put on some weight, all muscle.
Maybe Molina just gave him some of his. I don't know.
I don't think the weight that Molina lost was all muscle.
No. Polanco with muscle. He's 15 pounds of it.
And boy, you look at him, you can see he's bigger, especially his legs. Still has that gliding gait. He's kind of showing it right there, coming in on that shallow fly ball that it never looks like he's really running fast, but then you look at the amount of ground that he covered. He's doing the job.
One pitch to Cosma. Well, Gregory was coming up through the minor leagues. Some of his coaches nicknamed him the baby giraffe because of his frame and the long legs, the way that he ran. kid, he wanted to be a pitcher.
Got the arm for it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. That's Worley. Cardinals have hit him in his prior starts a little bit. 338 average against him. Vance looking for his 30th career win today. He's 29-25 in his career. And he strikes out Cosmo. Second strikeout for Worley this afternoon. 2 down.
Well, Vance certainly is pitching to contact. He is not trying to miss any bats. As always, he's pounding that strike zone. He's not about getting the chase. He's coming at you and making you swing, put that ball in play, and have the defense work for him. Of course, if you take him, that's all right with him too. You'd just be walking back to the dugout.
Two balls, no strikes. I want to congratulate our TV director, Pete Toma. He and his wife, Susie, ran the Pittsburgh Half Marathon today. Pete, 2:13:22 his time. And his wife, Susie, who is clearly a better runner, had a time of 2:13:19, 3 seconds better than Pete. And Walker drills this one deep to right field. Polanco on the run. Polanco at the track, off his glove. Walker will pull him to second with a 2-out double.
Polanco looked like kind of had a beat on it. I know he got a piece of it. Did it get into what part of the glove? Did it get into that pocket and just roll out, or did he just tick it? I couldn't tell. It looked like it got into the pocket. It just wouldn't stick.
So the first career double for Michael Wacha. And the Cardinals have a man in scoring position.
Again, it is going to carry this afternoon. The ball is, and it's going to be part of the ball game. Even though there's no score right now, you can just tell when someone does hit it decent, the outfielders are having to back up. Watch where it hits in the glove. Well, now the Super Bowl, that always tells us the true story. That ball did hit up in the very top of the glove. In the normal slow motion replay, I thought it hit down more in the pocket, but the super slow mo never lies. It tells us the true story, and that ball just hit right off the tip, the edge of the webbing.
1-1 to John Jay. Jay 0 for 1. He flied out deep to left center field. His first time up. Cutchin tracked it down. 263 the average for Jay.
Been a lot of things that are a little different in the broadcast over the last decade, and I don't know if there's anything better than that super slow-mo as far as showing us up here and the fans at home exactly what happened out there on that ball field. A great addition to every broadcast. It's even better than the telestrator.
Is it? I thought you liked the telestrator.
Why would you think that? You're being sarcastic.
Okay. And that is the Allegheny Health Network Super Bowl right there. That'll slow everything down for you. And to left center field and deep again. McCutcheon running after it. And he makes the catch. Carbon copy of his first at bat for John Jay. Nothing across. Walker hits a double, and he's left on base. And quietly he has hit in 5 straight games. I'm waiting for him to be a little louder about his offense. I think a lot of folks are, and that'll come. His average at just 207.
I mean, he could be up around 270, and in the matter of a couple of weeks, he gets hot. and hits like we've seen him. We've seen him go for almost a month with a 400 batting average. So he is more than capable of moving that needle real quick.
Walker facing McCutchen to start the top of the fourth. Ball and no strikes. Each team with 2 hits. Swing into this. Pirates have left 2 on. The Cardinals won yesterday, leaving 18 on base. You know the last time was, Bob, when the Pirates left 18 men on base or more in a game and lost the game? McCutchen in the air to right center field. Hayward back after it. So is Jay, and Jay will track it down on the warning track. Deep fly ball out by McCutchen, and there's 1 away.
And another case. The outfielders are having to go backwards on contact.
Well, the answer to that question about the men left on base, you got to go back to June of 1946. Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Dodgers walked off the Pirates 7-6 in 11 innings. And the Bucks left 19 men on base that day. That's the last time they left 18 or more on and lost the game. That's how rare that was yesterday.
I think it might even be rarer than that. When's the last time they left 17 more runners on than you scored runs?
That is a good question.
Is that ever, you know,
I don't know if that's ever happened.
I mean, that's what really was odd about yesterday's game was, you know, if you usually you leave a ton on, you're scoring 5 or 6 runs. But to leave that many on and only score 1 run, that was really made that game a rarity. And I really think that that's such a rarity that you got to turn the page from it and move on and think, okay, that was one of those things that is not going to happen. It's like you get no hit. Okay. So, you know, big deal. Tomorrow's another day.
This one on the ground, left side. Peralta with a backhand stab. Throws to first. Not a chance. Base hit for Marte.
He's getting some infield hits. He had 2 yesterday, maybe? 3 infield hits?
No, 2 infield hits.
Yeah, 2
3 hits overall. Right?
Yeah,
so the double in the 11th.
Just picks up another infield hit.
Ground ball in the hole, swinging bunt, things like that. He's got a great chance to get a base hit with that speed.
Could lead the team in infield hits and home runs. Be a nice combination.
Then we have to look up when the last time that was done.
No, we don't have to look.
We
don't have to look up anything. We have a staff for that.
That's what I'm saying. Our staff, your staff, not mine. Yours, we'll look it up. Pedro takes inside. But that would be something to find out, huh? A player who led his team in infield hits and home runs.
You have to be a special athlete to be able to do that. McCutchen has that kind of ability. Maybe maybe it's an easy answer. Maybe it's Kutch. Of course, I'm not even sure at what point they didn't keep track of stuff like that, infield hits.
Two and 0 to Pedro. Alvarez lined out sharply to Pete Kozma in the shift. Kozma was out in short right field. Not playing there right now with a runner at first base. So that same ball that Pedro hits now is in for a hit because there's a runner on. He was up with nobody on last time. Balls and foul, 2-1. Last year dealt with a shoulder problem. Marte goes, pitches a ball, that throws into the outfield, and Marte didn't get up. So Yadier Molina got away with one. That would have been an error had Marte been able to get up and go to third.
Well, this is not a Gold Glove winner's throw. It might be one of the worst throws he has ever made. I mean, the ball immediately goes out of the shot. Where was he throwing that?
So stolen base number 4 for Starling. And Pedro pulls it to the right side.
I think the throw was so wild that's why Marte didn't realize it was in center field, because it never.
Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah, I mean, in his mind, there was no throw. Nothing ever came by, so he's probably thinking that the ball was dropped or bobbled or whatever, and that there was no attempt to make a throw down.
Payoff pitch is low, and Alvarez walks. First and second, 1 out for Jordy Mercer.
Marte, it's a straight steal. You're not looking at what's going on at home. Now, there's no way for him to have ever seen the ball or have any reason. Now he knows where it's at, but it's too late for him to get up and run. You have Jay picking it up out in center field. Now, if that's a hit and run, then he knows.
Ball 1 to Jordy.
Because you're always taking a peek to see what's going on a hit and run. You're expecting it to be hit. You want to know where it's hit.
Ball and 1 strike. I know we've mentioned it this weekend, but coming into the series, the Pirates as a team were hitting .302 with runners in scoring position. Just a hiccup this weekend. Friday night, yesterday afternoon. Hopefully they're done with that. Pirates can start hitting again. Second and third, and there's a ground ball toward the middle, and that is caught by Peralta, and Mercer will be safe at first base. As Cosmo looked like he had a little problem with the flip. Alvarez forced in the middle, 2 down, and first and third.
Yeah, that should have been a double play, but Cosmo. Oh, I see what happened. Cosmo went for the ball. That's why he was so late getting his foot on the back. Now Pirates got a little bit of a break there. That ball was hit so sharply that if Cosmo would have went to the bag, they would have had their double play. The Cardinal defense does not execute. Chance for a 2-out RBI base hit.
Two on, 2 out for Jung Ho Kang. Maybe today's the day. Searching for his first major league home run. Runners in scoring position for him. 3 for 6. 6 runs batted in. Ball and 1 strike. Waka missed 68 games last year. He had something that was called shoulder stress reaction. A shoulder stress reaction. He slowed it down. Jung Ho's bat had a stress reaction.
Well, that went in there hard.
Marte, thinking that might have been a foul tip or something, was maybe a dead ball. Molina chased him back to the bag. Molina thinking it was a live ball. Sounded like a foul tip, didn't it? So Molina looks down at third. Chases Marte back.
Right. Both Carpenter and Marte were looking into the stands. Molina had no one to throw the ball to. Marte was looking in the stands, standing off the bag. So Molina wanted to throw the ball down to Carpenter to get him out. So then he decided to maybe run down there and tag him. Maybe he wouldn't see him coming, but eventually he did.
Molina's always heads-up catcher. Remember that play? I think it was 2010, maybe. You got McCutchen and Andy LaRoche at third base. He tagged them both and picked up a double play. Certain play that McCutcheon was trying to get a triple, I think, and Rose walked off the bag after going back in a rundown. They both happen to be out. Ground ball to short. Peralta flips to Cosmo, and that's the inning. Nothing across for the Pirates. 1 hit, 2 left. 3.5 in the book. Still no score. Pedro Alvarez had a 2-run homer in that game. Pirates have beat the Cardinals 6-3 this day in 2012. Matt Carpenter leading off for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 4th inning. Lance Worley's 1-0 pitch. A sliced foul. Something else happened this day. Pirates history in 1986.
Are you talking about the skunk game? San Diego.
Skunk delay, right?
Yep.
We've got to find out more about the skunk delay.
Well, we've been down in the dugout. There was a family up that lived underneath the stands there. You know how they had the movable stands in the old ballpark? And that, you know, they've been looking for him, I guess, for weeks, trying to get him out of there. And I can't remember now who it was. Somebody was, you could see back underneath the stands, kind of like a little tunnel area. And I can't remember what pitcher was throwing baseballs back in there. And anyway, it stirred him up, and one of them went out on the field. -12-minute delay.
12-minute
delay. Trying to get the skunk off the field. But there's a lot of wildlife out there in that Mission Valley area where the stadium was. It is. Don't play there anymore.
2-2 to Carpenter. So by 3-2.
The bullpens were kind of different in those days. There were little places you could go. It was like, it's just,
weren't they across
you do all
the field there? Like,
well, it depended on what season. Some years they were, some years they weren't. Depending on, I guess, who the Padre manager was at the time, they would choose. Do you want to look over at the other team, or do you want to look across at your own team? Whatever they thought was the most important. Now, when there were several stadiums that were like that. You know, ours at Three Rivers was like that. And if you were looking at your own team instead of the other team, every time the other team would get a pitcher up, you'd have to call in and tell your dugout who was up.
Carpenter drills this one deep to center. McCutcheon leaps. It is gone. A home run for Matt Carpenter.
I think McCutcheon lost his glove over the fence also. We knew it was going to happen at some point. The ball's carrying well. And, you know, hopefully we'll hit a couple ourselves today. Somebody threw Kutch's glove back.
The Pirates had gone 95 innings without giving up a home run until Matt Carpenter hit his 4th of the year.
The glove went up in the flower bed. Ball barely got out, hit right on top of the wall and bounced out.
The second home run Worley has given up this season.
Now this has to come very close to the glove. Oh yeah, just inches. Oh man, Kutch hit that wall hard too, didn't he?
Sure did.
He smoked that wall. Good thing there's padding nowadays. We're talking about the old ballparks and the changes. Didn't always have padded walls. Van Slyke ran into the center field fence in the Old Busch Stadium, broke his collarbone. Similar play to what we just saw right there. And now with the padding, you can challenge the walls. Be very careful. In the old days, which ones you ran into and which ones you chose not to.
Wrigley was probably not a good choice.
Still's not. They've kind of grandfathered that one in. That's the only one left at where the ivy is. There's no padding, but they padded the sidewalls.
2-2 to Holiday. Struck him out looking. Strikeout number 3 for Worley.
A little paint on that outside. You can see the little movement, little cut action that his fastball has.
That's checking out his forearm there.
Took a pretty good hit.
Saw Kutch do that in a spring training game a couple of years ago where he lost his glove over the wall. He leaped over and got it himself.
That was max effort on that one.
Adams to center field and deep. McCutchen is there this time. Well, McCutchen getting acquainted with the outfield wall.
This time looks like he might be a little shook up. Didn't want to throw it back in right away. A little bit of a face plant that time.
Two outs, bases empty. Allegheny Health Network Super Mode. Slowing it down as he crashes into the wall.
It took like about maybe a half a step after he caught that before he hit the pad.
So officially 94 1/3 innings the Pirates pitching staff had gone without giving up a home run. It's the longest stretch since the 1976 team held the opposition homerless for 97 innings. First home run given up on this road trip. To Peralta. 2-1 to the Cardinals shortstop. Peralta 0 for 1. Think about Vance Worley in 2011, his rookie year. Was third in Rookie of the Year voting. He went 11-3, 21 starts. But even since he left Philadelphia, 21 starts with the Pirates, his ERA is 3.14. He had 56 starts with his other teams, Philadelphia and Minnesota, and an ERA above 4. He's pitched better since coming to Pittsburgh.
Well, a whole lot of people have pitched better since coming to Pittsburgh. It's a nice little list of guys that in the last few years have done that.
And Worley strikes out Peralta. That's 2 punch-outs in the inning, but Matt Carpenter breaks out with a home run, and it's 1-0 St. Louis.
Will be
just another step on the way to returning. Chris Stewart fouls this one off. And you think about that exhibition start that he had in Philadelphia, and Charlie just was so thoroughly disappointed with it. Pirates realized that something wasn't quite right with Charlie, so he had to extend his spring training. And hopefully he is working out the kinks, and he'll be back soon. And a base hit to right field by Stewart to lead off the 5th.
Always a great way to start the inning with that number 8 hitter getting on base so that the pitcher can come up and do what he should be able to do, get a bunt down, move the runner along, and then you get to the top of the lineup with runners in scoring position. The runner in scoring position anyway.
Worley 0 for 1 today. Carpenter on the grass at third for him, expecting the bunt. He squares and pushes it up the first base side, foul with Carpenter all over him. Carpenter was probably, what, 15 feet from him?
Yeah, but it really doesn't make any difference because he's not bunting the ball that way anyway. I mean, in this scenario, you practice for a month in spring training, bunting the ball to the first base side. So, I mean, third baseman can be in the batting box with you. It shouldn't make any difference. If you do your job, you bunt it to the right side. And whatever Carpenter does, who cares?
2 strikes on Worley.
You know, same thing when you're bunting a guy to third. Then it's the first baseman that's all over you. And then that's when you want to bunt it to the third base side.
Worley pulls the bat back and swings and misses. Worley strikes out. So one gone. Gregory Polanco back up. Point Park University tweets, from your perspective covering the games, what will it take for the Bucks to move from leaving runners on base to driving in runs? That's from Bald Guy Brew.
Well, if I had that answer, I'd go down and I'd tell them, and then it wouldn't be a problem anymore. I don't have any idea. I mean, that's what they need to do. And really, if you look at the hitting with runners in scoring position, it's just one game that was a problem. It's not been a problem for the season. That was just yesterday. Before that, their batting average with runners in scoring position was very good. I think it might be the best in the league, right?
302.
Right up there with the best. So, you know, I'm going to ignore yesterday and think that that was just a one-off, and that's not going to be a problem.
Walker gets ahead of Polanco, 0-2.
I mean, the things you have to do are more important than that, or the little things, nothing ball game, or excuse me, a 1-0 ball game. You got to move runners over. Getting that bunt down was very important. And it's something that's happened really over probably the last 4 or 5 years around baseball. We see all teams do it. Is that used to a pitcher would take, if he didn't get a bunt down, it's because he took 3 shots at it. And because sometimes it takes more than 1 attempt, 2 attempts. It might take all 3 strikes to finally get that bunt down. See it all the time. Guys will take 1, maybe even 2 of the strikes will be swinging, and I don't understand that. Every one of those strikes is precious to try and move that runner up 90 feet.
So Travis would do that in his start against the Pirates.
Yeah, we see everybody doing that, and I don't, you know, if you have the bunt sign, why are you not bunting? And I'm not getting on Vance here. I don't know. Maybe they took the bunt off. I'm not. I have no idea. I don't know what the signs are, but we see it all the time, game after game, with teams all over baseball, where pitchers on their own decide to swing instead of bunt.
1 on, 1 out. The 1-2 pitch from Walker. 2-2.
And even if you do put the ball in play, well, what if it's a ground ball double play? You know, then how do you explain that when you get back to the dugout? I don't know why that is so prevalent now that you have the choice to swing the bat. The only choice that you should have is when you see the shortstop break the third on a wheel play. Then you swing. All other times you should be bunting.
2-2 to Polanco. Strikes out. Off-speed pitch got him. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Walker.
Walker doesn't throw a lot of curveballs. That really is number 3 pitch, but you can see it's a good one.
Josh Harrison is 0 for 2. Playing second base today. Neil Walker getting a day off before the off day. So 2 in a row. Carpenter running throw a little high. Jay trying to go under it, and he was tagged.
We might have to take a look at this.
Bobby Foster called him out.
He did a great job of getting underneath that tag.
Clint Hurdle coming up the dugout steps. Got him on the back. But
yeah, I'll tell you what, that's a great job by Jay though, seeing what was happening and getting down as low as he can.
No challenge by the Pirates. 1-0 Cardinals. Will lead off. Hayward is 0 for 1. He hit into an inning-ending double play in the second inning. Pitches up high for a ball. Ball and no strikes to Hayward. 2-18. Strike is called. Hayward in right field. Cardinals were hoping that Oscar Taveras would be their right fielder for the foreseeable future. Great young prospect, tragically killed on October 27th in the Dominican Republic in a car accident. See the initials on the sleeves of the Cardinals. Hayward takes over that spot defensively. Push them up. Got him from the Braves. This is for Oscar Taveras. We started to see play last year. Thought that he was going to be a Pirate nemesis for a long time. He's very talented. Hayward's former team beating the Braves, beating the Reds right now 5-0. Braves with the lead, top of the 7th inning. Reds come in Tuesday to start a series. There's a shot right at Jordy Mercer for out number 1.
It'd be nice to get a shot at the Reds after an opening series. Even things up a little bit with them.
Yeah, disappointing opening series. The Pirates were walked off twice. Right there, they could have had any one of those games. Same here. They could be up 2-0 instead of down 0-2. That's how close these games have been. And today, basically round 3 of a heavyweight fight that we'll see all season long between the Cardinals and the Pirates. Look at the schedule, Bob. The division could be decided in September. Pirates play the Cardinals twice in September, once here in early September, and then in the last homestand of the season, the Pirates will play the Cardinals at PNC Park, followed by the Reds. And Molina behind in the count. Pirates also come back here the next time in August. Not until August will they return to St. Louis.
Be a pleasant time for St. Louis, obviously.
Weather will cool off, be down about 105. 2-2. Full count. One out, base is empty. And Worley shaking off the first sign. 3-2 pitch fouled off. Challenge for Molina this year will be to try to stay as healthy as possible. He did miss just a brief amount of time last weekend. Got a knee banged up, but he's okay.
I'm sure that was what was in his mind this winter when he lost all that weight, thinking if I get lighter, I got a better chance of keeping those knees healthy.
Momstays around the corner. Week away. Cosman. It's this one in the air to Gregory Polanco. 2 out. Cardinal lead, bottom of the 5th inning. The pitcher, Michael Wacha. Now will come up and face Worley. Wacha with his first career double over the head of Polanco. It was in the 3rd inning. And he drills this one to right center. McCutchen with room. That makes the catch. So 1 man left for the Cardinals. We'll go to the 6th, 1-0. Yeah, they did a really good job getting it ready. Andrew McCutchen leads off the Pirates half of the 6th inning. Cardinals with a 1-0 lead. Break the ball in for a strike. That's 1 for 2. Second in the first. And the 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. We've seen a lot of deep fly ball outs today. You're right about the ball carrying. More so today than in any other game in this series. The ball's been jumping off the bat. And McCutchen deep to right.
Carry, baby.
Hayward backing up and on the track makes the catch. Catches 1 for 3. 1 man out for the Pirates in the 6th.
Tell you what, I love the fact that Kutch is driving some balls hard out toward the right center. The swing might be back. Good hard contact.
Starling Marte had an infield hit in the fourth, 1 for 2. Nothing to 1 to count to him.
Thought he was going to have an infield hit that first time up.
Yeah.
Hit that little chopper out there.
Marte is 1 for 4 in his career against Michael Wacha. Not a lot of reps against Wacha for Pirates hitters, simply because last year probably would have had a number of them, but he was out for a while. Shut down, was on a 60-day DL, came back, made 4 starts in September, appeared out of the bullpen in October playoffs. What Mike Matheny is hoping today is that Wacha can give his bullpen some rest. This pitch is fouled off down the third base side. Clint Hurdle is hoping as well for Vance Worley. See if both starters can go deep.
What do you think, pitch count wise? The guy is in big trouble right now. Should be able to go 7 anyway. That always depends on the hitters.
Marte, a comebacker. There are 2 men out. Hunt has seen it. He's got a good sense of humor about it. Should be a good crowd Thursday for the Pirates and the Reds. Finale of that series. Hopefully we will see you there. And if not, we'll see you right here.
I'm thinking we're going to have a pretty good homestand. A lot of fans and a lot of wins.
Pedro takes a strike, falls behind Wacha, 0-2. Pedro 0 for 1 with a walk. Ball, 2 strikes. Pedro trying to get a hit off of Wacha in the regular season. Doesn't have one of those. 0 for 6 against him. They had that one big home run in the division series in 2013 that broke up Wacha's no-hitter. Game 4. Fouls this one back. Just seeing the highlight of that earlier in the ball game. Just seeing the crowd the way it was. Boy, some atmosphere.
All the black shirts.
Yeah. Those were goosebump moments.
Now we have our fingers crossed that win this division this year, avoid the play-in game.
2-2 pitch. 3-2.
Right to a regular series. And then just see how far you can go after that.
Shortstop Peralta skipping across behind the bag. Pedro pulls this one up the right side. That'll be a foul ball.
Looks like they were trying to disguise the defense.
That's what they're. Yeah, I mean, he was over on the shortstop side, and then you're the hitter up there. And how can you miss this big man shuffling across behind second base?
You know Pedro's going to check out of whatever he had called for a swing. Supposed to do? They change the defense. Check out.
Yeah, you check. Oh, okay. No. Check down.
Check down. Is that what it is?
3-2. Ball 4. Pedro's walked for the second time.
Walker being a little careful with Pedro. He knows it's a day game.
Yeah, they know that. And very good in day games. Leads all National League players with 37 home runs hit during day games since the 2012 season. 3 of his 4 homers this year have come under the sun. Pitch to Mercer. Ball outside. Park University tweet. Do day games provide more of an advantage or disadvantage to pitchers or batters? What do you think, Rob?
I think everybody's a little different. Because if you ask them all individually, they'll give you different answers. I think that as long as there's a good batter's eye, a good hitting background, and there's no shadows, it's not late afternoon, then I would think that the hitter would be able to see the baseball better in natural sunlight. But I've had hitters tell me the opposite, that they like the night games where everything is dark out there. It's lit up by lights and they can see the ball better. Who knows? Now, from a pitching standpoint, I like pitching in night games better, just because it's a cooler temperature. I don't like pitching when it's hot.
Night games too, it's more of a routine for them.
Yes, definitely. You're right about that.
3-0 to Mercer.
Walker having a little bit of a problem throwing the ball over the plate all of a sudden.
Jordy sitting 3-0. 2 down, Alvarez at first. And Jordy takes a strike he thought might have been ball 4.
It could have been. It was very borderline high, but normally on a 3-0 pitch, the umpire will give the benefit of the doubt to the pitcher.
Jordy pops this one up. John Jay battling the sky. They'll make the catch. Pirates will leave a man aboard. Through 5.5, a 1-0 St. Louis lead. Top of the order up for St. Louis, John Jay, and Carpenter and Holiday in the Cardinal half of the 6th. Strike delivered. Earlier, Bob, we were talking about how Vance has pitched better since arriving in Pittsburgh. Pitched better than he did in Philadelphia and Minnesota combined. As Jay lines it to left field, and a leadoff single for John Jay. Well, Jay is aboard. 2 other pitchers, Francisco Liriano and A.J. Burnett, who have also pitched in this series, have lowered their ERAs quite a bit since coming to Pittsburgh. 440 down to 309 for Liriano, 415 down to 327 for A.J.
You look at guys like Melanson, Grilli, there's a pretty good list.
Snap throw down to first base. Jay back in time. Rob Scahill starting to loosen up. Next pitch for Vance will be his 80th.
Remember, we were talking about how deep they could go in the game, the starting pitchers. So pitch count wise, they can throw their 7 innings. It shouldn't be a problem, but the hitters have to have their say. And that's what you see Vance dealing with right now. He's got the pitches to do it, but he's got to get outs. Cahill is heating up.
Breaking ball in for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cardinal base runners have not stolen a lot of bases. They've tried in this series. They tried Friday night against Burnett. John Jay did. First time he got on in the first inning, he was cut down quickly by Cervelli. A couple of guys were thrown out, then they stopped. But it was a double steal in the game yesterday. That ended up hurting the Pirates. That double steal was Friday, not yesterday. That hurt him. Pirates do lead Major League Baseball with 12 caught stealings, the pitchers and catchers combined. They've caught 5 of the last 9 runners attempting to go against him.
And that was one of the question marks, I think. Also, Mark left. He had been so good at throwing out runners. Would there be any drop off now? The early answer is no, none at all. It has so much to do with the pitching. The catchers obviously are throwing the ball, but the catchers can't do anything about throwing out base runners trying to steal if they don't get the ball in their glove in a timely fashion.
Carpenter goes down swinging for the second time. Now 1 for 3, and there's 1 out.
It's a big part of doing well against the Cardinals and shutting down their offense is to do good things against Carpenter.
And Holiday's 0 for 2. 4th, he struck out looking. Big cut and a miss. Worley with 5 strikeouts. To right field, Polanco on the warning track will make the catch. Jay will tag and head for second base, and he is safe. Two outs. Polanco with a decent throw here.
Yeah, this is kind of like a 2-out steal of second. You know you might get thrown out, but you take the shot just like if you were stealing. He's able to slide in just underneath the tag. Nice throw. A good pickup of that ball out of the dirt. Shea thought about it for a second. He looked out there and then committed to it. But that's, I think that's always a good gamble if you're a guy with speed trying to get to second with 2 outs. Get yourself into scoring position. And even if he got thrown out there, I think that is worth the try.
Matt Adams takes strike 1. He hit one to dead center field in the 4th inning. McCutchen caught it up against the wall. Base hit in the second, 1 for 2. Jay Hayes out the outfield. A few steps over toward the right field line. This ball pulled foul. Over on the other side of the infield, Jung Ho Kang not leaving as much room to the left side of the infield for Adams, who has the tendency to go that way on occasion. Game-winning hit Friday night went right where Jung Ho is. 1-2, left center field. And Marte, glasses on, makes the catch. Cardinals are done. They leave a man. Up to the moment, at any moment, with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. MLB.com at bat, smartphone or tablet. Jung Ho Kang, 1 ball, no strikes. And Jung Ho drives one to left field in a leadoff single. 1 for 3 for the Pirate third baseman today. For the Bucks, their 5th hit.
Got a ball on the inside corner, fastball. That really, I think, is what Gunn is most comfortable hitting, going out there and hunting that fastball in. He's used to being a power hitter, and that's what he's looking to do, to pull that ball over the left field fence.
Gunn gets back. Chris Stewart, a hit last time up in the 5th. And he bunts the first base side. Walker fields. Tosses to Matt Adams covering.
They got to bring up Walker as a pinch hitter, so that makes sense, moving that tying run 90 feet.
Walker will hit for Vance Worley. Worley done after 6 today. And Worley limited the Cardinals to just 4 hits. The 1 run was a home run.
They did a great job. That's exactly what you wanted out of him. No big innings. Just the 1 solo home run that hit the top of the fence at that. Bounced over. So really a strong start again.
Tying run at second. And Walker yanks this one a long way foul. Archimedes Caminero warming up in the Pirate pen. Looks like he's ready to go. He'll pitch the 7th inning. Pitch from Walker. And Walker hits this one up in the air to right field. Hayward under it. He'll make the catch. Oh, not going anywhere. 2 men out. Walker flies out as a pinch hitter. And we're back to the top of the order, and Gregory Polanco. And while we have a moment, we want to wish a happy 50th birthday to Tom Kempe, who's watching us from New Hartford, New York. He's a graduate of Carnegie Mellon. He's been having his challenges, but fighting through them. And we wish him a happy 50th. Michael Walker's done. The lefty Randy Choate will come on to face Gregory Polanco, or will he? 1-0 Cardinals. Base. Gregory Polanco will stay on to face Randy Choate. Mike Matheny making another pitching change. Michael Walker's out after 6 2/3 inning. It's the 80th pitching change this season. 80th pitching change in 24 games for the Cardinals. That ties the Giants for the most in Major League Baseball.
And the veteran left-hander's job is to come in and get a lefty out. That's why he is out there. And some teams, some managers don't believe in having a specialist type pitcher in that bullpen to come in and just get lefties, but Matheny definitely believes in that. Going with the stats that you were just talking, was it 18 times now he's brought in somebody to face just one batter?
19th now. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, he's not going to face.
He's going to face Polanco. That's it.
That's it.
And a ground ball to second. And Cosma goes on to Adams. Jung-Ho Gunn stranded at second. Stretch time in St. Louis. 27th of June, the Pirates and A's in an interleague game, and a ball hit Pedro to end the game. That's the last time that's happened before last night. It happened twice last night. Caminero to pitch the bottom of the 7th inning in a 1-0 ball game in favor of St. Louis.
See the hard-throwing right-hander. The batting average against at 195. That's the lowest of our relievers. Not been giving up many hits. Tony Watson sitting at an even 200. Be the next lowest.
Two and 1 to Peralta. Peralta reached in a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Struck out looking in the fourth. 2-1 fouled off. Count is even.
99. There's some velocity on that one.
The center field, and McCutchen has to come in for it. He slides, and he can't make the catch. Loses his glove, and that's a single for Peralta.
Ball hit in the glove, and I couldn't really tell there. Now we will tell. Yeah, that ball's in the glove and came out. And that didn't make any difference because the glove came off the hand.
I think the ground took it away.
I wonder if he hurt his hand.
Nobody out. Peralta at first. Jason Hayward the batter.
I'd like to be the first baseman. Camaro's out there, catch those bullets he's throwing and pick off those.
We should find out how fast he throws to first. Off-speed pitch.
Yeah, that was the splitter, perhaps. This would be the equalizer when you're throwing as hard as he does. And able to pull the string like that. Split your fingers out from behind the ball and you just can't get the velocity on it. Even though the arm speed stays the same. That's the key to any good changeup, whether it's a splitter or circle change, anything, is that the grip that you have takes the velocity off the baseball. The arm speed, everything else stays exactly the same, and that's where you get your deception as far as what the hitter is looking at.
0-2 to Jason Hayward.
To get that top velocity, you have to keep both of your fingers behind that ball and snapping forward, pushing that ball forward as hard as you can. And if you get one of those fingers off the back of the ball, then there's no way. You can try to throw it as hard as you can, but it's not going to get there nearly as fast as it is otherwise. So that's your changeup. There's a variety of different grips you can use to do that.
Having the count 1-2. Nobody out. Peralta at first. Cardinals leading 1-0. Bottom of the seventh.
Advantage of using the splitter grip as your changeup is not only does it take speed off the ball, it takes backspin off the ball, which gives it that little dropping action right at the plate. Now you got the hitter out in front, plus the ball is going down pretty good once it gets up there.
And a bouncing ball to Harrison. He turns, delivers to Mercer for one, and Hayward beats it out.
Tough to turn that one a little bit too far into the hole.
Hayward's grounded to J-Hay with a runner at first base. They did pull off the double play in the second inning.
How about the neighborhood play on that one? Mercer had to be about 3 feet off the base.
And I think that Mike Matheny saw what you saw.
Well, now, if the throw, if he can argue that it was the throw that pulled him off, then he's got an argument. Matheny's saying, hey, it was a wild throw, and that's what pulled him off the base. We saw this last year where, you can't challenge the neighborhood play, but it was challenged, and it was overturned, if I remember correctly, because they said, well, yeah, you're right, the throw was wild, and that's what took him off. So now look at the throw. Did he come off? Did he come off the bag because it was a wild throw, or just because he was making a turn and wanting to get away from the slide? I say, after watching that, it was just he's doing it just normally, just trying to get away from the slide, that it was not the throw. He could have easily stayed on the bag with that throw.
Well, Mike Matheny pretty upset about it.
Well, I think if he could see what we just saw, he wouldn't be, because even if they look at that, he's not going to get it overturned, because it wasn't that wild of a throw, in my opinion. It's not like I've never been wrong on any of these replays.
Never. It's the first time for everything, Bob. This is an extended conversation between Mike Matheny and home plate umpire Mark Wegner. And Matheny won't leave the field. And now he wants the crew chief, Mike Winters, is talking with him.
I think that's what that's what he doesn't like. He wants to talk to the crew chief, and he's not getting that, and that's, I think, what is upsetting. But in my opinion, the throw does not pull Mercer off the bag. He leaves the bag voluntarily to try and get away from the slide, and they're allowed to do that.
Saw how wide the slide was.
Technically, they're not allowed to do it, but I mean, that's just something that's always been in baseball. It's why they call it the neighborhood play. If you're in the neighborhood of the bag, they give it to you. He's out.
Yadier Molina up. That's a good reason you can't challenge the neighborhood play. Hayward is the runner at first base. One down. Caminero pitching to Yadier Molina. Way out.
Well, if they ever change that to where the middle infielder, whether it's a second baseman or a shortstop, actually has to be touching the bag on that, well, then they're also going to have to really look at the slides and say, okay, if a runner slides wide left or right, he's automatically out. If you're going to let him slide wide, then you're going to have to allow the shortstop to protect himself.
I agree.
So that's why they do that. I mean, if he's safe because he was off the bag, well, then I think the runner is out because he was sliding wide.
If you are not allowed to protect yourself, you're asking for potential injuries unnecessarily. Contact, more contact at second. Well, got him leaning. And safe at first base. That was close.
Oh, that was very close.
Just got back.
I wonder if the umpires now, every time there's a close call, they immediately look at the dugout.
I know I do now. I mean, it's changed.
The umpires have to. I think, yeah, it's really.
Especially in the third out of an inning. It's changed the way you watch a game from up here. And I know from down there, probably the same. There goes Hayward for second base. Ground ball right to second base. Jay Hayes got one. Nice and easy to first. And an inning-ending double play. Tailor-made off the bat of Yadier Molina. Head of the eighth inning. The week. Mike Matheny during the break came back out. Made a double switch here, but also probably used the opportunity to talk to Mark Wegner about the neighborhood play involving Jordy Mercer and Johnny Peralta.
Well, I think, obviously he was running out of time during the inning. He was about to get tossed. He can't just stay out there forever. You have to go back. But if he still had something to say, that was a good time to do it. In between innings, you're out there anyway. You're talking about making a double switch. You have maybe another 45, 60 seconds to continue the discussion and make your point, and maybe hear something that convinces you were right or wrong from the umpire.
Matt Belisle, the new pitcher, double switch, brings Colton Wong in the game to play second base. Cosma moves over to third. Carpenter out.
Managers like to have good relations with all the umpires. I mean, it's not, they don't want to always be arguing and yelling at each other.
Long foul ball by Harrison, 1-2.
So that in between innings, if they can go out and maybe talk without the world looking at them, that's a better scenario for them to really get into a certain subject.
At Belisle's 1-2 pitch. Belisle, former Colorado Rocky. Pirates last saw him there. He did not pitch yesterday. He did pitch Friday night, 2/3 of an inning. Gave up 2 hits, no runs. Struck out 1. Pirates hit him pretty well when he was with the Rockies. 3-2 pitch. And Jay down to third. Cosma backing up. And he makes the play. Cosma over at third now, playing for the man who's responsible for the only run. Matt Carpenter, his 4th inning solo home run. The only score. Kevin Segrist loosening up. Well, McCutchen fouls this one a long way out of play. The double switch puts Belisle in the game in a spot where he'd bat 4th in the bottom of the 8th inning, but this is going to be his only inning anyway, so they'll have a pinch hitter in that spot. One and 1 to Kutch. Had a base hit in the first, 0 for 2 since. 1-2. First 2 games of this series went to extra innings. 10 innings on Friday night, 11 innings yesterday afternoon. Another 1-run ball game here. Interesting column today in the St. Louis paper, saying that the Cardinals' new rival is the Pirates. It's always been Cardinals Cubs. It's been a big rivalry in baseball, big rivalry in the division. But the local paper here, the columnist saying it's now the Pirates, at least for the time being, because of the way these games are played. 3-2's popped up. And John Jay battling the sun. 2 down.
Well, I think that the way the games are being played, yeah, that's true. But I don't know if there's a whole lot of fans that would agree with that here in Pittsburgh. I mean, here in St. Louis, that would say that the Cubs aren't the main rivalry. I mean, that's been their rival forever, and they still right here in their division, Midwest teams. I mean, I'm not sure I agree with that opinion.
Cubs will be here tomorrow.
And the Cubs have gotten a lot better too. We've seen that for ourselves.
Yeah. Marte with a base hit up the middle. Second hit of the day for Starling Marte. Tying run aboard, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. Now Mike Matheny's going to come get Belisle.
I wonder if the Pirates will counter.
Well, the left-hander Kevin Segrist coming on the pitch for St. Louis will face the lefty Pedro Alvarez. 13th appearance for Segrist. The Cardinal relief pitchers have gone 23 1/3 innings without allowing an earned run. Back to the 27th of April. Pedro trying to change it. They'll throw to first base. Marte is back.
I wonder what this bringing in the lefty, how that changes things for Marte also as far as trying to steal a base.
Pedro's been walked twice today, 5 times in his last 2 games. That's a career high in a 2-game stretch. Pedro 1 for 6 against Segrist.
Okay, certainly had him read that time, easily getting back.
Another throw to first. Now, you might be saying, why did Clint not counter with a right-handed hitter like Corey Hart in this situation? He's done in the past. Well, I think the score dictates that. The fact that Pedro can't change this game with one swing. He's got that game-changing power. Clint said he'd leave Pedro in games late if it was a ball game like this. Pirates are down a run late. There's ball 1. .216, looking to raise that. Just 0 for 1 today, but he's been on base twice. Marte creeps off first base. Ball 2. Where those two were. There was some grumbling downstairs from the fans, but that's where those 2 pitches were, outside the zone. 3-0 to Pedro. And now Segrist, they pitch away from putting the tying run in scoring position. He walks Alvarez here. 3-0 to Pedro. That is a strike. Pedro thought differently.
And one of those 3-0 pitches. The pitch will get called.
And that was ball 4. Well, 3-1 as Segrist looks in at Molina to get his sign. Pedro waits at the plate. And that is ball 4. So Pedro has walked 3 times today, 6 times in the last 2 games. Pushing Marte to second. Now 2 on and 2 out. Nobody up in the Cardinal bullpen to match up with the right-handed Mercer.
So much for your strategy. When your pitcher doesn't execute, you bring in the lefty. You think you got it all set up just like you want it, and then he throws 4 wide ones.
The Cardinals have had 9 relievers, 4 bench players, 9 relievers. They're going to have to make a move pretty soon. Mercer, if he can come up with a big hit here late in the ball game. So we just found out that the reason Matt Carpenter was out in that double switch, kind of in an odd spot for a double switch, lightheadedness for the third baseman. So that's why he left the game. And look at the left-right splits here against lefties. .335 for Mercer. .236 against right-handers.
Yeah, he certainly did not want the left-hander coming in and facing Mercer.
Marte at second, Alvarez at first. 2 men out, top of the 8th. Yadier Molina will take a slow walk out so the Cardinals can get the bullpen going.
Must be tired.
Well, no, this is what they do to get the bullpen going. There'll probably be a visit from Derek Lilliquist pretty soon, as Mitch Harris starts to loosen up. The Navy Lieutenant Mitch Harris.
Molina really a slow walk out there and taking his time getting back. Russo was still here. You might see a couple spin moves, a couple of pickoff throws.
Still might. See? Well, that was unfair on my part because I saw Mike Matheny give him the sign in the dugout.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, something like that.
That was unfair on your part.
It was. And a strike taken. Fastball. A ball and 2 strikes to Mercer. Pirates need to cash in right here. Segrist, 1 ball, 2 strike pitch. Strike 3. The Bucs strand 2 more in the 8th. 1-0 Cardinals. Home run. The difference in the ballgame. Pete Cosmo will lead off. Pirates 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Has been troublesome this series. They, up until this series, have hit pretty well with runners in scoring position, but here against the Cardinals, not the case. Cardinals bullpen has been rock solid, airtight. Pitch to Cosmo. Caminero in for a strike. Caminero took over for Worley, who went 6, struck out 5, gave up just the home run on 4 hits. Second inning of work for Caminero. 1 ball, 1 strike to Cosmo. It's outside. 2 balls and a strike. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. And the closer, Trevor Rosenthal, starting to loosen for the Cards in the bullpen. There's a strike. 2-2. The next opponent for the Pirates will be coming into Pittsburgh with a loss. Atlanta beat Cincinnati today 5-0. Cubs and Brewers are tied at 3, top of the 8th. Three and 2. Pirates will have an off day tomorrow. Back at it Tuesday night. PNC Park as Caminero strikes out Cosmo looking. With a 97-mile-an-hour heater. Our Nissan Road ahead. Starting Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. here on Root Sports. Michael Lorenzen will make his second major league start. He will oppose Jeff Locke. And then Mike Leake against Garrett Cole on Wednesday. Anthony DeSclafani and A.J. Burnett the matchup Thursday evening. That's your Nissan Road ahead.
No Cueto.
Nope.
That's nice.
No Johnny Cueto.
No Cueto.
We won't have that this series. Antonio Bastardo comes in to replace Archimedes Caminero. Timeout in St. Louis. Another nail biter here in St. Louis. Antonio Bastardo comes on to pitch. Left-hander makes his 9th appearance, and he will pitch to the left-handed hitter Colton Wong, who will have his first plate appearance this afternoon.
The opponent batting average for Bastardo not good. We were talking about where I was talking about the Caminero was excellent, down below 200. Bastardo has work to do on that stat.
Back-to-back lefties coming up with Wong and then John Jay behind him. And if you're thinking, well, why not Tony Watson here? Watson has pitched 3 of the last 4 games, had 13 pitches yesterday, 16 on Friday night, and on the 29th against the Cubs had 26 pitches. So also been used a lot. He's had 14 appearances already out of the bullpen. And that is Tony behind the chain link. 1-2 to Colton Wong. Bastardo's pitch. Foul off. Stays 1-2. Appearances now for Bastardo. Trying to get Wong to chase that one. Evens the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 fills up the count, 3-2. Bastardo faced Wong on Friday night, struck him out. 2 runners on base at the time. They were stranded. One out, base is empty. Payoff pitch from Bastardo to Wong. And 3-2 on the way. And lined into right center. And Wong took a big turn and almost tried it on McCutchen.
Wong has very good speed. I'm not sure he ran real hard though coming out of the box. Maybe he did. You can see there in that replay. You know, he's just kind of jogging. If he were really serious about it, he would have been running the whole time. But he didn't really start to go until he got around first base.
John Jay is 1 for 3 this afternoon. Flied out to center field deep twice. Deep left center. Takes inside. Jay is 0 for 3 in his career against Bastardo. 1 on, 1 out for the Cards. A 1-0 lead. And this one in the air to left center field and deep. Going back after it is Marte. He's got room. Makes the catch for the second out of the Cardinal 8th.
Jay is wearing out that warning track.
After today's game, the Pirates head back home to get ready for a 3-game set against Cincinnati. See the Bucs take on the Reds starting Tuesday at 6:30 with Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. And it's here on Root Sports. Glenn Hurl's really looking forward to getting home. So are the rest of us. Long trip. Game 10-day trip comes to an end today. Here's Mark Reynolds. Reynolds pinch hitting in what is now the pitcher's spot. That's second in the order. This one's fouled back. The Cardinals are doing an interesting thing with Reynolds. This entire series, Mike Matheny has allowed him to bring the lineup card out and exchange it at home plate prior to the game.
Go with the hot hands, which good.
And because they have been winning, they keep doing.
Yep. They'll take it out the next game if they win this one.
Have won 5 straight. This one out in front, down to second base, goes long. Wild pitch.
Good job of Stewart keeping in front of him, but if you're a guy like Wong that has that speed, and we've seen this so many times, if there's a ball in the dirt and you take off right away, very seldom you're ever going to get thrown out. Pirates have been trying to teach that.
One pitch to Reynolds.
You have to anticipate every pitch. You have to be thinking, if ball's in the dirt, I'm going. Ball's in the dirt, I'm going. You can't be standing there and thinking, oh, ball's in the dirt. There's a partial half a second to make that decision. That'll cost you.
Strike call. Reynolds had the game tying RBI on Friday night with a ground ball to a place where he never hits them. Near the shortstop area. Pirates haven't played the areas where he does hit baseballs, and he hit one where they weren't. Strado fills the count, 3-2.
You don't want to lose him base on balls here with Holiday coming up. Well, they're one of your better hitters, runners on base. Leave him over there, getting over right here with this next pitch.
Reynolds aboard with 2 outs. First and second for Matt Holliday. Series trying to remain positive here. Castardo is now trusted with the job of getting out Matt Holliday, getting out of this inning, get the Pirates to the plate in the top of the 9th. Popped him up. And backpedaling was Pedro, but Harrison calls him off, makes the catch, and the Cardinals strand 2. Castardo gets out of it. We go to the 9th in St. Louis, 1-0 Cards. Jung Ho Kang will lead off for the Pirates, and he will face the Cardinals closer, Trevor Rosenthal.
He's a tough one. Very hard thrower. Likes the strikeouts. As you can see, 14 of those. 11 innings.
And Jung Ho hits this one in the air to deep left center field. Back it goes. It is gone. A game-tying home run. Jung Ho and a bottle of rum. The first pitch. Jung Ho has his first major league home run.
They made it a memorable one, didn't they? Tying it up. 9th inning off a closer, a hard thrower. Way out of here, too. That one didn't hit the top of the fence.
Brand new ball game. And now Chris Stewart.
The breaking ball wasn't a fastball. Wasn't in a bad spot either. Outside half the plate, a little above the knees. That's a pretty good job hitting that one that far over the fence. Darn good job.
And that is the power we've been hoping to see out of Jung Ho. Power he displayed last year with a 40 home run season in Korea.
Big leg kick. So happy inside.
That is international news. That may be the top sports story in Korea today. Four 18, I believe they estimated the distance. 418 feet. Stewart foul tips it into the glove of Molina. Strikes out. One down. Now Rosenthal will face a pinch hitter in Andrew Lambeau.
Lambeau, he's got pop in his bat also. A lot of tons of minor league home runs.
His first major league home run came here.
Came in this ballpark, yeah.
Against Adam Wainwright. One for 24 batting this year, and he's had times when he's been robbed. He's had times when he's hit it hard right at people. He's had some very good at bats, but the numbers haven't told the whole story. 0-1. Pirates 1, Cardinals 1, top of the ninth, 1 out. And he takes strike 2. 0-2 to Lambeau. And the 0-2. Strike 3 call. Ouch. Well, Rosenthal strikes out Lambeau, and there are 2 away.
Right on the edge. You take them with 2 strikes, they'll call that occasionally.
Gregory Polanco up, base is empty. Polanco has faced Rosenthal just once before. He's 0 for 1. And 1 for 4 today. A healthy cut. Nothing, and 1 to Polanco. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gregory doubled in the 3rd inning. 8th double of the year. Rosenthal stretching to 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Mark Melanson has been warming up for the Pirates. And a base hit for Polanco.
Golfed it. Low ball hitter. I think it hurt his fingers too. Get the base. I think it got off the end of the bat a little.
Polanco now 2 for 5.
A little bit of a toe hit. Didn't get it. Didn't get it right in the middle. Not screws.
Cardinals didn't shift for him. Here's Josh Harrison. Josh hitless in 4 trips. Ball 1. A leadoff first pitch home run by Jung Ho Gung has tied it in the top of the 9th. First major league home run. His last 2 starts, he's done some good things. He's 2 for 4 today. He was 3 for 5 in his last start against the Cubs in Chicago. And Josh pops this one up. Shallow center. Out is Wong. In comes Jay. He'll make the catch, and we'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Jung Ho Gung makes international news. His first major league home run and ties the game at a run apiece. Hogang hitting one in the top of the ninth to tie it after Matt Carpenter had given the Cardinals the lead in the fourth inning with one. But a pretty impressive blast, 418 feet. See some Point Park tweets at the bottom of the screen. First major league home run. He did that a lot for the Next End Heroes.
You're right about the way he's swing the bat. About the last 5 days or so. There was a little stretch before that where he didn't see it, and it was hard for him because he doesn't get to hit all that much. But you are wondering, is he going to be able to adjust to that? And now all of a sudden he's hitting the heck out of the ball and getting some big important hits. He's getting RBIs.
Matt Adams to lead off for the Cardinals. Mike Melanson delivers up high for a ball, 1-0. Cardinal first baseman hitting 308. 1-1 to him.
Numbers on the year. So you're seeing one of the advantages that the home team has because they hit last right here. It's real tough to get your closer when you're on the road into one of these games like this because it's not going to be in a save situation. You know, with a tie game. So, you know, when do you use it? So you save them, you save them, you save them, and then if they walk you off, your closer never even pitched. But it's a real tough decision sometimes to make. I'm sure the decision was made here to bring him into a tie game, non-save situation, because he hadn't pitched in a while.
Well, he hadn't pitched since the 29th. Against the Cubs, he threw 20 pitches and hasn't thrown in 3 straight games. Didn't throw in 3 games prior to that.
When you're the home team, if you win the ball game, it's going to be in walk-off fashion. You're not going to need a closer, so you don't mind throwing him out there in the 9th inning of a tie game. Because in your mind, you're thinking, well, hopefully there won't be a 10th inning. Won't need another pitcher. But to win this ball game, the Pirates are going to not only need 3 outs here, you're going to need 3 more outs in the 10th.
And Adams strikes out. Stewart will have to throw down, ball in the dirt.
To skip over the bat, make that throw.
1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Chasing that curveball. Saw Stu look down where that bat was. Bill was there somewhere. Didn't want to step on it.
Johnny Peralta, base hit in the 7th. Struck out looking back in the 4th inning. And a breaking ball in for a strike. 2 more outs, and the Pirates will go to extra innings with the Cardinals for the 3rd straight day. That's what they want to do right here. Got to win it in extra frames any way they can. Got him to chase, and it's 0-2. Good numbers against Melanson, and 6 at-bats, 3 hits. Mark has struck him out twice. In the air to right. Gregory Polanco has it lined up. 2 down. Well, Melanson now will face the right fielder, Jason Hayward. 1 out to get to take it to the 10th. These games are grinders, aren't they? Pirates and Redbirds.
Can't leave early.
Strike one called to Hayward. And you get to see them in your ballpark coming up this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at PNC Park. Pirates and Cardinals. And this one's hit well to left field. Marte on the track, and he has got it. Woo.
Didn't like the sound of that one off the bat.
Sounded good, but didn't travel far enough. Extra innings coming up. McCutchen to lead off. Peter Borges is now in center field as Jason Hayward has left the game as part of a double switch. Borges goes to center. John Jay moves from center to right field. And the new pitcher warmed up a little earlier, didn't get in. We did see him pitch in yesterday's game, and that is Mitch Harris. Numbers on Harris.
And the Navy man has not given up anything as of yet. Just 3 2/3 innings of work. A couple of walks. Take a base on balls right now. Start things off for the base runner. All that speed on there that Touch has.
That's 1 for 4. 1-1, top of the 10th. Pitch outside. It's amazing to me, and probably is to you too, Bob, that Harris took 5 years off from competitive and organized baseball to serve his time in the Navy after graduating from Annapolis. 3 tours of duty, and then to come back and be able to build up his arm enough and get his pitches back to where they needed to be to become a big leaguer.
Yeah, it is a pretty impressive thing that he did for a number of reasons.
1 ball, 1 strike pitch. 2-1.
I'm guessing that he didn't just not touch a baseball for 5 years. He had to do something.
Yeah, I know. He talked to Robbie about it earlier in the week and told Robbie that he didn't throw all that much.
No.
Yeah.
They should be strong.
The 3-1 pitch to Kutch. Foul out of play.
No, the Pirates don't like facing. Pirates never like to see the Navy.
No, they don't. And McCutchen drives this one to the right field corner, and that one is going to be in the seats. Foul. Reached the rank of lieutenant. 3-2 to Andrew McCutchen. Payoff pitch. Again fouled off to the right. Harris made the club as a non-roster invite out of spring training. When he came back and started pitching in the minor leagues. This pitch 3-2. This one is in play to right field, right at John Jay. And there's 1 out. His fastball was only about 80-82 when he first got back after he was finished with his naval commitment. Yeah.
Well, he's throwing 95 now. So must have got loose.
Drafted in 2008 out of the Naval Academy. Starling Marte. I told you Harris had the rank of lieutenant. He's just the 2nd Naval Academy grad to appear in the major leagues. I'm wondering if the first guy who did it in 1921 for the Washington Senators, if his rank was captain. His name was Nemo Gaines.
I used that one last night.
You did. I wasn't with you last night. Marte pops it up. Peralta shading the sun, but Cosmo will pull it down.
Well, I like it. Captain Nemo.
Pedro Alvarez up. A few years ago, Pedro had a big home run in extra innings here. Tom Scahill warming up. It was a little deeper into extra innings, though. It was the top of the 19th.
Oh, I remember that one. Yeah.
He hit the home run.
We were on our way to San Diego.
We had a long day.
Getaway day.
But Pirates won it.
Heading to the coast.
If they had lost, think about how long that flight would have been. Pedro has walked 3 times today, 6 times in the last 2 games. That's a career high for him. Outside, ball 2. So far, careful with Pedro. And the 2-0. Strike call. Pedro got a hit yesterday. It was his 500th career hit. Well, outside 3-1.
They are being so careful with Pedro today. A lot of respect. Nothing really to hit.
Molina setting up off the plate outside. And that's where it goes. And Pedro has walked for the 4th time.
It's almost like an intentional walk. Nothing in the strike zone at all. Everything down and away. I know there was a strike, but it wasn't really.
No. That was also down enough, but either way, Pedro aboard. Pirates have the go-ahead runner on. Jordy Mercer is 0 for 4 today. Pirates batting top of the 10th inning. 3rd straight game of the Cardinals extra innings. And Mercer lines it into center field, a base hit. Pedro will stop at second base. And a 2-out base hit for Mercer that'll bring up Jung Ho Kang.
Went down and got that one.
Alvarez, the guy they want to get in. He's at second. Mercer behind him. That'd be nice insurance. Jung Ho Kang, who's 2 for 4 today.
Well, what a day it would be for him to knock in the winning run. Go ahead run.
Pitch to Kang from Mitch Harris. Takes a strike. Fastball at 95. One to right field and foul. Well, it's worth seeing again, certainly a 418-foot blast on the first pitch from closer Trevor Rosenthal. A 1-0 game, now a 1-1 game. So the 0-2 from Harris to Jung Ho. 1-2 the count. Alvarez off second, Mercer off of first. Count is even. Going over his notes for this nail biter. 2-2 fouled off. Baker had a good jump on contact. You're the runner at second base here. You're thinking score. That's your first thought. Run on contact and turn third, head for home. And a ground ball to Peralta. And the Pirates lead 2. They go to the bottom of the 10th. Score tied at 1. They're at second base for the Pirates. Josh Harrison moves from second over to third. And the new pitcher is right-hander Rob Scahill.
Rob's done a pretty good job so far this year. Putting up a few hits, but everything else in good shape.
Double switch as Rodriguez hitting second in the top of the 11th inning. Scahill going in for Jung Ho Kang.
Might have to be out there for a couple of innings if it keeps going like this. The Duke. I guess it was trying to Duke.
It's foul back.
Say Louis Cahill, U.S. Marshal. John Wayne.
John Wayne. I don't remember the plot, but I'm guessing it was a Western. Oh, 1. That's a strike. He went around.
It was a little different than the usual John Wayne plots.
Really?
Yep.
Afraid to ask how so. 0-2 pitch to Molina from Scahill. And he strikes him out looking.
Paint with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. The Duke's got some power. Power that one right over the outside corner.
The Duke with a backwards K.
Yep.
Eighth hitter in the order. Second baseman, now third baseman, Pete Kozma. Started at second today. Moved over. Colton Wong came in. Wong's on deck. And first pitch, a strike.
Scahill probably has a lot of grit.
Truly,
Yes,
you're correct.
Truly does.
Ground ball towards short. Mercer to his glove side, throws him out. 2 gone on the bottom of the 10th. And now Scahill set to face Colton Wong. Wong hitting 280. He's 1 for 1 in the game since entering for Matt Carpenter, who went out with lightheadedness midway through this ball game. Carpenter with a solo home run in the 4th gave the Cards their only run. And the pitch outside. One 1-0 pitch now to Colton Wong. And he's in for a strike. One pitch. That's outside. Scahill's 2-ball, 1-strike offering. And Wong, a ground ball. Oh, what a stop by Rodriguez.
Nice.
And Shaw throws him out in a 1-2-3. Bottom of the 10th, on to the 11th at Busch Stadium. A lot of runs have been scored. 1-1. Top of the 11th inning.
Let's go, guys. Runs.
8 runs in 3 games. 6 in the first 2. Cardinals won them both in extra innings, 2-1. Now Chris Stewart will lead off. Stewart with a hit and 4 trips, 3 trips, 4 plate appearances. He has a sacrifice bunt. He will take a strike from Mitch Harris on for his 2nd inning of work. Nothing and 1 to Stewart. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chris. Bucco's looking to find a way to get win number 13. Even with the Reds to start the day today at 12-12, but the Reds lost 5-0 to Atlanta. Cincinnati's 12-13, a game under. Stewart, a ground ball slowly hit to short. Peralta takes care of it, and there's 1 down. 6-3 on the putout. The Brewers beat the Cubs again today, 5-3. Well, the Cubs will be limping in here to St. Louis to start a 4-game series tomorrow. Sean Rodriguez batting .375. Swinging a good bat lately.
A nice play he made in the inning one.
Really nice.
I was impressed about how guys can do that. They can sit over on the bench for a couple hours, then come in real late in the ball game, and then be ready to make a play on a bullet like that.
Well, this ball is going to be just foul. Bat blew up. Strike 1 on Sean. New bat waiting for him when he gets back to the plate. Look where the head of his bat goes. Pete Cosma has to go get it out in left field.
Firewood. Good wood stove wood. Right size for that. Nice hardwood.
Burned for a while.
Gotta have a wood stove. Fireplace, heat that up real quick. Have a nice wood stove. Control the flame.
Well, we're thinking about heating a house when it's in the mid-80s.
My very first year, 1977 in Spartanburg, the club used to do that.
Oh, and a base hit for Rodriguez. Just out of the reach of a diving Colton Wong, and a 1-out single has the go-ahead run aboard in the 11th.
Really, Sean's going to be such a plus for this team this year. He comes off the bench, makes a little nice defensive play. I think it's a 94-mile-an-hour fastball and lines it the other way for a hit. He's a ball player.
He's a ball player. I know John Wayner had a great conversation with him on radio last week about growing up. His dad was his coach and had him play every position, had him play where the team needed him. And that is how he learned to be as versatile as he is. Pitch to Polanco will wait to throw to first in the dirt.
As good as he is, you see guys like that and you wonder why have they never got that position to be an everyday player. It looks like he could be a pretty good one. You know, if it wasn't for injuries last year, and who knows if Jay would have had that opportunity to really play every single day. And he got the opportunity, made the most of it. But you know, certain guys do get that label when they come up as, okay, this guy is going to be a utility player in the big leagues. And sometimes they can never shake it. Jay, he was able to do it.
1-0 to Polanco. That's popped up to right field. John Jay under it. That's the second out. Well, with Bob, I'm Tim. Robbie's here as well. 1-1. 10 hits for the Pirates, 6 for the Cardinals. No errors. Jung Ho Kang, his first major league home run. It came in the top of the ninth inning on the first pitch he saw. Vance Worley started. Pitched pretty well, struck out 5 through 6. Gave up just a solo home run to Matt Carpenter, who left the game with lightheadedness. Michael Wacha, 6 2/3. Struck out 2. The starters, neither of which will get a decision today, and both pitched pretty well.
Still baseball going on. Grab some beef jerky and sit down and watch.
Josh's average has dipped to under 200. Josh 0 for 5 today. He has grounded out to third 3 times. Wide to right and center. Nothing in 1 to Harrison. 2 down. Go ahead run Rodriguez off of first. Harris pitch. Well, tip into the glove of Molina for strike 2. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Nope. Again thrown in the dirt and again scooped up by Adams. It's 2 low throws to first by Mitch Harris. He gets a new baseball from home plate umpire Mark Wegner. 20 through to first in the dirt. Gets thrown out of the game. Hey, looking for a clutch hit here in the 11th inning. Molina looking over to see what they want to do with Rodriguez at first. He strikes out. He's 0 for 6.
Base one way upstairs.
Pirates
like that one.
And Cardinals even at 1. Sacrifice the glove. 1-0 Cardinals. That's the only run Redbirds would get. Top of the ninth inning, closer Trevor Rosenthal's first pitch is sent out of here by Jung Ho Kang for his first major league home run and ties the game at a run apiece. And that one run makes it $3 off lower outfield and outfield box tickets for games May 5th through the 10th against the Reds and Cardinals. And the tickets at the final discounted rate. Pirates still looking to add more runs here. Take more dollars off. But the tickets will be available a half hour after this game ends at Pirates.com. Well, here's John Jay. Last 2 years, the Cardinals have had 14 walk-off wins. He has had plate appearances in the final inning 8 times. And 8 times he's been on base, but this time he won't be as Jordy Mercer retires him.
Marshall got in the kitchen that time. That was right in on the hands. It's a little embarrassing when you hit a pop fly and you can't get it high enough for anybody really to catch it very easy. Ball almost fell in.
One out quickly. Now here's Peter Borges. Borges' first plate appearance this afternoon. Borges came over to the Cardinals last year. Was with the Angels before that. Fleet-footed outfielder. And the 1-0. Cahill's 1-ball, 1-strike pitch to Borges. Fouled back, and he's ahead now, 1-2. There's a final from Wrigley Field. The Brewers have beaten the Cubs today, 5-3. Central Division. Going to be tightening up a little bit. Brewers have a ways to go. Well, to a horrible start. They are now 7-18. And Borges down on strikes. Cahill throwing up zeros.
He's got outstanding stuff. Caminero, he's kind of a power guy that can outdo Cahill, but when Cahill can come in and he can throw it in the mid and actually get up to 96 with that fastball, I mean, that's nice to bring into the game. Somebody that has that kind of stuff.
Three-hitter in the order, Matt Holliday, 0 for 4 today. Strike one to Holliday. 3 for 3 with a home run against Cahill Friday night with first base open. A right-on-right matchup. Then Hurdle elected to walk Holliday to get to Adams, the lefty who'd never faced him. And the history was there and didn't want to tempt fate. Cahill gets ahead 1-2. Sometimes that'll work out, sometimes it won't. Two and two. Oh, they went from Colorado to Oakland in the Carlos Gonzalez trade. And then came to St. Louis. He's found a home here. Two balls, 2 strikes to Matt Holliday. Low, that fills the count at 3-2. Bottom of the 11th. 1-1 game. And Bob Cahill trying to get Clint Hurdle's Pirates to the top of the 12th.
You got to score and get them out in the bottom of the 12th. I hate these road extra inning games.
All the extra innings games the Pirates have had have come on the road. One in Cincinnati, 2 here.
Difficult to win them.
Huge advantage being the home team in baseball. You get the last at bat if you need it. And he walked it. So the Cardinals with 2 outs have the winning run aboard. And Cahill has to face Matt Adams again. Pirates will shift for Adams again, leaving the left side wide open.
Well, Adams isn't the shouldn't be thinking about hitting a single here. He wants to drive the ball deep and try to get it out of here, or someplace that you can the ground balls. That's why they put the shift on. Most of them are going to go to that right side, especially through that second base hole.
Cahill throws to first.
But if you get a single, then you need another single after that. So he's looking to hit a double, some extra bases. He wants to knock Holiday in. And that's why you have the Pirate outfield playing almost all of them standing on the warning track, trying to guard against something that would knock Holiday in from first base. Look how deep they are. They are way up. Polanco is only a step or two in front of the track. That's why you played no doubles in this scenario. The one thing you gotta be worried about right now would be that hard hit ball that on the ground that through third base, it gets down in the left field corner. So Marte would have to run all the way over there to dig it out of the corner. Of course, he's got that great arm.
And a strike to Adams.
But you can't guard everything. Yeah, I mean, you have to play the percentages. That's why you have the spray charts, all that. You have to defend what happens most of the time.
1-1 the count to Adams. The stretch by Cahill. Holiday off first. Missed off the corner. Fouls it off. That's strike two. And Friday went the other way against the shift. Bottom of the 10th. Got the winning run in.
But that's what that called for. That called for a single to win the game. There's a man at third.
Yeah.
He's not trying to drive the ball for extra bases. He's just trying to get something to the outfield for a single and get the winning run in the end. And he went the other way and accomplished his mission.
Count is full 3-2. Cahill doesn't want to put him on. That'll put Holiday in scoring position with Peralta coming up next. Time is gone. Ball, 2-strike pitch. And this one is into right field, a base hit. Holiday heading for third. And Matt Adams drills one through the shift.
That almost took Holiday's head off. Well, he was going for that extra base hit, trying to drive this ball, especially since he knows Holiday's got a head start. And almost hit him right in the helmet with it. Polanco able to get over and cut the ball off to keep Holiday at third base.
Dave Joust, Ray Surridge, Clint Hurdle conferring in the dugout. I think Ray's coming up. Yep.
Ooh, I mean, it almost got him. Look at that.
Well, if that hits him, the inning would be over. It'd be out.
Looked like a turtle. Trying to get back in the shell on that one.
So Ray's bringing out the message here. And Rodimus Lees is warming up in the bullpen.
You wonder if they're talking about an intentional walk here. Cruz on deck.
Yeah, pinch hitter Cruz on deck. And it doesn't matter if you move Adams from first to second. His run doesn't mean
the only thing it does is it puts a little bit more pressure on the pitcher to throw strikes with the bases loaded. Otherwise, like right now in this scenario, the count doesn't matter. I mean, he doesn't have to worry about a ball 4. Well, they're going to load him up.
Yeah. So they will load the bases, intentionally walking Johnny Peralta. Open bases at second, so Adams will end up moving over there. There's Tony Cruz, who hasn't played in this series yet. Mike Matheny emptying his bench because Cruz is the last position player available, the backup catcher. Josh Harrison was quoted in the local papers today saying these games are like chess matches with the Cardinals. That's how they've been. So the bases are loaded in the bottom of the 11th inning. Clint checking on Lees, see if he's available. Here's Cruz. This will be the first game in this series he has appeared in. He's 0 for 1 in the current homestand. Made just 3 starts this year behind the plate. The ball game in the balance once again here in St. Louis. Cruz fouls it back for strike 1. Cahill gets Cruz here. McCutchen, Marte, Alvarez due up at the top of the 12th. Cruz digging in. Strike 2. Came up and in on him.
Yep. Well, up and in. Only 91. Was a good heater. Ball that just kind of got away from him a little bit.
Trying to go in that same neighborhood again.
Yeah, but 92. Maybe he's starting to run out a little bit of gas. Pitch number 36. You're getting up there a little bit for a reliever. Most of the time they're coming in pitching 1 inning, less than 20 pitches.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled off at the plate.
Another 92. And just throwing the ball up there a couple in the beginning. First inning at 96.
Cruz has 2 career game-ending hits.
Game plan seems to really be working him up upstairs, trying to get him to swing and miss.
Bases full of Redbirds, 2 outs. And the 1-2 from Cahill to Cruz. Two and two. Got a piece of it, nicked it foul. Working on 40 pitches is Cahill. 31 Friday night. The 2-2 to Cruz. Popped him up. Rodriguez going way out. And he's got it. And the Cardinals leave him loaded. Cahill gets out of it. And we're headed to the 12th in St. Louis. All even at 1.
I agree. Keep plugging away. As long as it takes to win.
New pitcher is right-hander Sam Tuivailala. He's from San Mateo, California. 22 years of age. Made his big league debut with 2 appearances last year with the Cardinals. Tuivailala will be on for the Cards, and he will face Andrew McCutchen, who will lead off an inning for the 4th time in this game. And you like it when Kutch is up with runners on, but that just hasn't been the way it's gone today. McCutchen, Marte, and Alvarez, 3, 4, and 5. Kutch with 1 hit today, 1 for 5.
And we talk about it all the time, especially when there's a pitcher hitting 8th. That you don't know what's going to happen in the course of the game. After the first inning, that's the only one you can plan out. After that, when guys hit, who knows? Good example today. Kutch keeps leading off.
McCutchen looking to greet the reliever. Unfriendly manner, possibly. And he bounces it wide to third base for strike 1. No position players left on the Cardinals bench. Pirates have Corey Hart remaining and Francisco Cervelli. Strike to McCutchen. It's 0-2.
The Cardinals playing with a short bench to begin with.
Pitcher spot not due up for a while. Will be second in the order, but we either have to let the pitcher hit or use a starting pitcher to pinch it. And McCutchen drives it deep to left field. Holiday drifting back and on the track makes the catch. Well, how many of those has McCutchen had today? Just missing it.
Seems to be quite a few out on the warning track this afternoon. Like about 3 hours ago, we were talking about how the ball was carrying it because there are all of those balls early on the track. But only 2 of them have got over the fence.
The wind's blowing out now, or drifting out. Wasn't much wind earlier in the game. Marte gets a look at this pitch for strike 1. Ball, 1 strike to Starling. Marte has 2 hits. 2 for 5 today. A pair of base hits, one of them an infield single. And 2. Tuivailala last year in AAA Memphis had just 2 appearances. Climbed the ladder through the Cardinals system. He started in Florida in Palm Beach, single A. After 29 appearances, the Cardinals shipped him to Springfield. And then from there he went to AAA Memphis, and they called him up when the rosters expanded on September 1st. So 4 different levels of baseball last year. Rapid rise through the system. One, 2. Strike 3 call.
He's got a little bit of a sweeper type breaking ball, and it's like Marte definitely thought that one was going to stay inside.
Molina framed it a little bit.
See, from that offset camera angle, you really can't see the way the ball sweeps. You can only really tell from this shot, the dead center.
Well, it doesn't look like they have any interest in pitching to Pedro, at least from that first pitch that Molina set up for. He's already walked 4 times today. Just turn the lights on here. him something hittable. That'll be a strike.
I don't know how hittable that was.
Closer than the last one.
That was 98 up on his hands. Get that, as I was going to say, you get that little sweet breaking ball, and then he's got a power arm. You can see where that last pitch was. That was at 98 miles an hour.
Pedro drives it deep to right field. Way back, and El Toro strikes again. Pirates 2, Cardinals 1. Another dramatic extra innings home run in this ballpark for Pedro Alvarez.
They tried all day to stay away from him, won't give him anything to hit. And this pitch was probably, if he wanted it to be in, they wanted it to be up on his hands where that other one was. This ball was down and in, and that's an easy pitch to drop the head of the bat to, even if it's got the velocity that this kid throws with. And Pedro just mashed it.
Home run number 5 for Pedro. Finally got a pitch to hit.
He did not want to go down there.
Jordy Mercer pops this one up down the right field line. Long run for John Jay, but he'll get there in fair ground. And we'll go to the bottom of the 12th, and for the first time in this ball game, the Pirates lead it as Pedro Alvarez hits it out.
So much bat speed and power that he's always the threat to hit the ball out of the ballpark and give you that instant offense. And you can say we talked about it the whole day, how they were so careful with him. They were pitching around him, not giving him anything really good to hit. And I don't know if they were meaning to throw that ball down there or not, but it was a mistake either way. And that ball was crushed.
Radimus leaves to face Yadier Molina. It was inside for a ball. Lees can wrap this up. This would be his first career save. And a base hit up the middle. And the Cardinals with a tying run aboard.
Just about that Lees. He was pretty much unprotected there. Could have caught him right behind him between the numbers. Now, how will the Cardinals play this? Will they play to tie?
Ozma's 0 for 4. The ground ball to Jordy Mercer for an out in the 10th inning. And a foul tip into the glove of Stewart for strike 1. Now, we want that ground ball back to Mercer again.
Yeah, if they're not playing to tie, they're playing for tie. You're going to have to sacrifice here. They're going for it maybe because they don't have any players left. They don't want a long game, so they don't want one run. They're either going to try for 2 runs or get nothing and the game's over. Pirates win. Another little bit of strategy that changes when you're in extra innings and you're the home team or visitors. Normally the home team will play to tie because they know they're going to get another chance the next inning.
0-1. And a ground ball to Rodriguez. They'll get the lead runner. They'll force out Molina for his choice for Cosmo. 1 out in the bottom of the 12th. Long 1 for 2. 277. He's the number 9 hitter. I hope it doesn't get to it, but the guy on deck is John Jay. The spot after him is the pitcher's spot. Pirates like to be finished with the inning before them. The Cardinals don't have a position player to put in there. And this one a base hit. Rounding second is Cosmo. Heading to second and stopping is Wong, and now the tying run 90 feet away.
Yeah, you said earlier these games are grinders. Man, are you right? Neither team will give an inch and say, okay, nobody's going to call uncle. They just keep on going. Why should you? This is fun stuff. This is why we watch these games. And some people are talking about how this is almost like pennant race stuff. First week of May.
Well, the pitcher spot was second. Then the next move, it was moved down to the order. So Borges is on deck. First and third, one out. John Jay takes upstairs. Two hits in the inning off of Rodimus Lees. 2 runs on 11 hits for the Pirates. 1 run on 9 hits for the Cardinals. Stewart out in front of home plate. Just put on the external signs on how they're going to handle the running game here in case Wong should take off. He represents the winning run. To John Jay. Mentioned earlier, he's had key at-bats in Cardinal walk-offs. He's appeared in 8 of their 14 walk-offs over the last 2 years. He has been on base all 8 times when he has been up in the deciding inning. And it's 3-0. That one almost got away.
Yeah, good job by Stewart coming out of that crouch. He's an awfully tall catcher, and he needed to be tall on that one.
He's dangerously close to loading the bases. And he's done it. Bases are full of Cardinals with the winning run at second base. And a guy who's very tough to double up coming to the plate in Peter Borges. And out comes Ray Searage to visit with Rodimus Lees.
Yeah, that's a good point. Borges has excellent speed. But even though he has good speed, my gut tells me they're still going to try and get a double play here. It's the tying run at third, not the winning run. And if you play in trying to stop that and a ball sneaks through a drawn-in infield within the winning run, which is at second, ends up scoring and the game's over. So I think even though Borges can fly, you still have to play back and hope for that double play.
September 3rd of last season, Peter Borges began a run of 3 straight walk-off wins for the Cardinals. Walk-off single in the 9th inning. And the Pirates have lost. That was the last meeting of the season last year. And the first 2 have ended in that fashion. And here he is again.
Well, maybe I'm wrong. No, it's hard to tell what they're going to do. Looks like they're backing up. Yeah, they're backing up now into a double play.
Pirates will play for 2 here. Tying run at third, 1 out. He's out of the stretch to Borges. And it's strike 1.
Outfield in fairly close.
The 0-1 pitch on the way.
Can challenge a catcher a little bit. Remember that in Chicago, Cervelli had a day. He had to block 3 or 4, maybe more than that in that 1 inning.
Fouled off, that strike 2. He's ahead of Borges. Big hitter on deck, too. Matt Holliday. First things first. One ball, 2 strikes. Dub foul.
Exciting game.
It's a white knuckler. Another one.
Is.
One ball, 2 strike pitch to Borges. That is low. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Peter Borges. 1 down, base is full. Pirates hanging off a cliff and just grasping at that 2-1 lead. Long foul ball. He's trying to miss the bat of Borges here, get the strikeout. Infield can move back. Outfield as well. Here is the 2-2 pitch to Borges. Fouled off again.
Of course, we're having a battle now. Yeah, not sure what to root for here. Strikeout or a ground ball to somebody. A ground ball might end the inning, but what if he beats it out? A strikeout, well, now you got the out, but then Holliday's coming up with the bases loaded.
Victor Poison. There we go. And we did not.
You knew it was going to come down to a full count, didn't you?
Hold the swing. It's close. Nowhere to put him. Base is full. Full count. Tying runs at third. Ground ball stopped by Jay. This ball game is tied. Can you believe this?
This is amazing stuff.
Borges with an RBI base hit. Cosmo comes in to score. It's 2-2.
And it just had to roll away just far enough to get nobody out. If the ball stays there, at least you get the force out at third. Well, look at it this way. Good job of at least knocking the ball down or the game's over. If that sneaks through, wow, that was close, right on the tip of the glove. That ball sneaks through. For now, that was a game saver.
So the winning run is at third base, 1 out. Middle infield will play for 2 with Holliday up.
Now you have an excellent guy up there to hit into a double play.
Outfield very shallow. Popped up. First base side, and that'll make the seats just over the Cardinal dugout.
You're definitely looking for that ground ball now at Holliday.
Grounded into 3 double plays so far this season.
He's usually up there very high in that category.
Very close.
Yeah,
inside.
That was a
can't hit him either.
Dangerous spot. No. Nothing you can do. Ground ball at somebody.
1 ball, 1 strike pitch from Leeds. Breaking ball, and that's called a ball. 2-1.
Pretty darn close. On the edge.
Right there, didn't get the call. And it's 3-1. And again, nowhere to put it. Three balls, one strike. The pitch to Matt Holliday. And it's fouled off. And the count is full. It was full to Borges, now full to Holliday. The payoff pitch. Strike three. And Holliday kicking the dirt. He is so upset. But a big, big strikeout for Rodimus Lees.
Absolutely a huge strikeout. I mean, you're in such a tough spot here. You know, maybe the one guy that they want at the plate more than anybody else in this situation. And he throws the fastball right by him. Saw a clinch reaction. He knew that was going to happen. He expected it.
Another tough customer, Matt Adams. And Adams, a ground ball to first. Pedro diving stop. Lee's covering first. He's got it. And we are headed to the 13th inning. The Cardinals tie it, and they leave the winning run at third. That came after the big strikeout of Matt Holliday. And we move on. Rodimus Lees has to hit. Pitcher spot leads off.
Think about that ball that Jay knocked down. It was going down the line.
Yeah, that was a game saver as well.
That was the big one there.
Sam Tuivailala start his second inning of work. So we'll see Lees, Stewart, and Rodriguez 7, 8, 9 in the 13th. Pedro Alvarez with a home run and a game-saving defensive play. Everything magnified here in extra innings. Well, Rodimus Lees at the plate. Don't know what to expect. We haven't seen this before. He is 0 for 6 in his career. Will take a ball, and it's 2-0. To Lees. Tuivailala delivers. Strike is called 2-1. 2 runs on 11 hits for the Pirates, 2 runs on 10 hits for the Cardinals. Pirates have left 13 on base. The Cardinals have left 11. And Lees pops it up. Will be playable for Matt Adams.
Long way to come.
Ball off to Tuivailala, the pitcher. And Lees is out, one gone.
Yeah, he's back down almost the outfield grass. He had a long ways to come to get that one. And normally, not a bad, not a tough play at all. But where he was, he's upset with himself. Right? Took a pretty good hand, made contact, put the ball in play. You can't be too upset when you never hit.
Strike to Stewart. Stewart 1 for 4 with a sacrifice today. Marathon game on Pittsburgh Marathon Day. They just thought it was for the runners, but it happened to be for baseball as well, apparently. Ball and 2 strikes to Stewart. have been hard to come by for both teams in this series. And Stewart, a bounding ball to Peralta at shortstop. 2 out. New score is the Bucs score. They're trying to get some more runs today. $4 off the tickets for the May 5th through 10th homestand against the Reds and Cardinals in the lower outfield and outfield box seats. Tickets will be available a half hour after this game ends, whenever that is. Pirates.com. Pirates ticket office. Let's hoping to score at least one more run. Got to win this ball game. We'll get discounted tickets depending on what that final number is. Could be $5 off, could be 6. Just depends. Rodriguez took a pretty good cut at it and fouled it back.
Real good hack. Not really playing him, no doubles in the outfield. Just out there, kind of normal defense.
This is the 34th inning of baseball played between the Pirates and Cardinals in this 3-game series. Friday, 11 yesterday, and the 13th now. Rodriguez cuts and misses, and it's 2-2. You're going to get a number of these during the course of the year that get extended. Just hope you win them.
To win these division games too. Not only do you get a W, but you're hanging a loss on somebody you're competing with. In this case, somebody in front of you, the Cardinals.
Rodriguez fouls it off again. 2-2 the count. 2 down. Bases empty. Throwing right-hander Sam Tuivailala. Throwing for Mike Nafini here in the 13th. He's working on his 2nd inning of work. Here's the 2-2. We'll get another. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Sean chased the off-speed pitch and strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 13th inning at Busch Stadium, tied at 2. Thanks, Paul. That is an amazing story going on in Houston. The Astros. Bit of a story here in St. Louis, too. Bottom of the 13th, Johnny Peralta leads off against Rodimus Lees.
The game of baseball is so. I mean, when I heard that they were going to the American League East, I felt bad for them. Because, you know, they hadn't been very good for a number of years anyway.
Popped up. Shallow center. Mercer is out. McCutchen comes in, and Mercer can't make the play.
Mercer can't make the play, and where's Peralta?
He's at first base.
Thank goodness.
Just a high pop fly, and McCutchen coming in, and that's a very tough play for Mercer.
That's a center fielder's ball all the way. Peralta just. He'll be a little embarrassed when he sees it. In a tie ball game, 13th inning, he's got to be standing at second base.
Oh, a cheap base hit for Peralta. And Seth Maness has been called upon from the bullpen to come out and hit in the pitcher's spot. And Jay on the grass at third. Lees throws to first base.
But what a difference. If Peralta's out at second base, Manus is bunting into third right here instead of second. What a huge blunder by Peralta.
Manus pops up the butt. And Stewart's got it. 1 out.
Fastball. Sometimes it's tough for the bunter to get up on top of it. It was there. I mean, it's poking at it a little bit. Got bottom half of the ball instead of the top half.
Molina swings and pulls it foul. Molina had a base hit in the 12th inning. Nothing in 1 of the Cardinal catcher. He swings and misses. He's caught a lot of innings this weekend.
He's going to have to catch a bunch more. Huh? They have no backup catcher.
0-2 pitch to Molina. And a ground ball toward Jay. He'll go to second for 1. Rodriguez the turn. That's a double play. And we are headed to the 14th inning. Pirates 2, Cardinals 2. So we go to the top of the 14th. Gung-Ho with his first major league home run. Tied the game at 1 in the top of the 9th inning. Pedro Alvarez put the Pirates ahead in the 12th. Peter Borges RBI single in the 12th, tied it up. And Matt Carpenter way back in the 4th inning had a solo home run. He left the game with lightheadedness. Cardinals out of position players. They are almost out of relievers. The Pirates are out of relievers. They still have 2 position players left. The new pitcher is Miguel Sokolovich. 8th appearance for him.
Opponent batting average excellent, 122. Wow. Technically, we're not out of relievers.
No, you can have a starting pitcher come out.
What about Watson and Hughes?
I think they're trying to stay away from them, but
well, that's what I mean. Technically, they're sitting out in the bullpen.
Polanco is 2 for 6. Sokolovich. Pitch inside for a ball. Gregory doubled in the 3rd, singled in the 9th. And the pitch to him is inside. 2-0. From Caracas, Venezuela, 28-year-old right-hander. This is the 6th different organization he's been with. Strike to Polanco.
And with the Red Wings, Rangers.
Well, made a big league debut in 2012 with the Cubs, and then the next year spent it pitching in Japan with Hiroshima. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last year in the Mets organization in AAA was in Las Vegas. Well-traveled Miguel Sokolovich. 2-2 to Polanco. And Gregory pulls it foul. Well, we're going to get a second 7th inning stretch, Bob. We will have the middle of the 14th. of the order for the Pirates: Polanco, Harrison, and McCutchen. 2-2. And Gregory pulls this one to Matt Adams. Fair ground.
Right
over the bag.
Right on the chalk. I mean, that's playing no doubles right there.
1 out.
That's why you play there in these tight games late. Of course, this is real late, extra innings. You have to guard against the double.
Jay Hayes having a tough day. 0 for 6. His average is dipped way down, 189. So Kolovich getting ready, and the right-hander delivers. Low ball 1. And the Pirates are at a tail end of a 10-day road trip. The last game is in the 14th, and who knows how long it'll be before the Pirates can win this one. Ball 1 strike. The extra innings that have been played, it's almost an extra game. One and 2. Another day at the yard here in St. Louis. Strike 3 call. Harrison out. And Jay Hayes 0 for 7.
That makes for a long day.
I was going to say 1998. Kevin Young had a game when he went 0 for 7. He was the last Pirate to go 0 for 7 in a game. It was against the Padres. April of that season. And that hurts the batting average for sure. Hurts the ball game. McCutchen looks at a strike. This is the 7th time Andrew has been to the plate with nobody on base. 2 outs, top of the 14th. The 0-1 pitch from Sokolovich. Ball 1 strike.
Get it out of here. Come on.
On the corner for a strike called, and it's 1 and 2.
Tough to hit that one out.
Wow. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way to Andrew McCutchen. And he lets it go. Check to swing. Yes, he did. Artie Foster, the umpire at first base.
Pretty good location with that breaking ball. You're going to get some check swings on that one.
The 2-2. Down to third. Cosmo gobbles it up and fires over to first base. Pirates gone in order in the 14th. 14th inning stretch in St. Louis. Any break, Jeff Locke, who is Tuesday's scheduled starter, heading out to the bullpen.
Well, Jeff has the extra time because of the 2 days off in between his 2 starts, his last start and the upcoming one. So actually, it's kind of a fortunate situation for the Pirates to have those 2 days off now. So the Locke is easily available.
Pete Cosmo leads off against Lees, and Lees deals him a breaking ball for a strike.
So Hughes and Watson, they're still out there, but unavailable. They had a heavy workload. We'll have the day off.
A 1 pitch to Cosmo. Foul tip for strike 2.
I did see Watson out there playing catch with the outfielders, kind of windmilling his shoulder like, come on, baby, get loose.
Watson's pitched in 3 of the last 4 games. Has come out of the bullpen infrequently. Maybe called upon today. Anonymous Lees. His 3rd inning. He's getting it back today. And Cosmo strikes out. Stewart hangs on to the foul tip. There's 1 out on the Cardinal 14th.
Breaking ball. It's just right down the middle. Sometimes you just get a little lucky, I guess. Or just got the pitch just has such good action they can't hit it, but then not exactly where you want to locate that breaking pitch, but it worked.
1-0 to Wong. Good fastball hitter. Takes from there for a strike. And this one is drilled deep to right field, and this ball game has come to an abrupt ending. For the 2nd time in 2 seasons, Colton Wong has walked off the Pirates with a home run. He did it last July and does it here today to end a 14-inning marathon.
And it's not really big, but I'll tell you what, he's got some surprising power. That ball just leaped off his bat, going halfway up those right field bleachers. And that pitch was down on the outside half of the plate. Knee-high outside half of the plate. I mean, you can't really say that there was anything wrong with the location on it. He just went out and hooked it out of the ballpark. Change up, I think. You didn't have to watch it. That ball just got out of here probably 50, 75 feet up into those stands.
Going back to September 3rd of last year, the Cardinals have now walked the Pirates off in 4 straight games. They get a 3-game sweep here in St. Louis.
A rough weekend in St. Louis.
Cardinals are now 18-6. Pirates dropped to under 500 at 12-13. Final score 3-2, 4 hours and 28 minutes. Cardinals win it here on this Sunday afternoon. Let's go back to Pittsburgh, where Paul and Teak are standing by.